So you have to wonder, does a wizard arrive precisely when he means to? And I say, yes. Listen, you know how late Fabio always is, according to Dante. So that was the problem here. Don't blame me. You can blame this guy right here.
Lies! What's going on, man? What's up, everybody?
Oh, man. I'm feeling freaking good, man. How are you, dude?
No, I'm good, man. Beautiful day today. It was awesome day today. Very excited about tonight. I hope everybody's doing well. What's going on?
Yeah, let's get into it. I think we're going to have a great show through this evening. We got a lot to talk about. We got a lot going on within the secondary market with Star Wars Hot Toys. We're going to go to sixscalecantina.com. We got a lot going in within the primary market. We're going to go to Sideshow as well. We're going to be talking about why exactly as well Hot Toys made the move they did last week with the Attack of the Clones and all these legacy character, all this heat that we're getting. Is it going to continue this month? Why is it continuing? Why did it happen? We're going to break all of this down, and I've got plenty to serve up. Let's go ahead and dive into it, baby. Right now. Hot damn, baby.
That music grows on you a little bit.
Yeah, it's kind of like, hey, come on. It's the market chart show. It's the market chart show live with Aries and Fabio here on a Monday night. Come on. That music's got to get you hyped up. It's like it's prime time. It's the time. And what a freaking time it is to be a Star Wars fan with the upcoming Obi-Wan series, with the upcoming celebration for Star Wars. Wait until we see what Disney is going to whoop on us with everything Star Wars coming up. And just wait and see what's going to happen with Hot Toys when it comes to Star Wars. I think we've got a glimpse of it last week. Holy cow. I am still so high from last week, and you better keep buckled up because what a damn ride it's going to be. Everybody, I am the Dark Jedi Aries Tarrington, and I'll be serving up all the Star Wars Hot Toys talk and Hot Toys talk and all just the cool stuff, along with my good buddy Fabio. Fabio and I were talking backstage. There was a lot of fun this weekend with guys that kind of do this and gals that do this.
Who the is that guy? Who the is that?
Oh man,
do you think Michael Chandler? Do you think Tony Ferguson knows who Michael Chandler is now?
I'm telling you, man, that clip. I just saw that clip. I didn't watch the fight, but I saw that clip, and I was like,
dude, I will tell you this, and I was anticipating it. Tony Ferguson looked back, baby. He took a year off. He's kind of old. He's on the, what is he, 37, 38 years old. Yeah, he didn't look too good his last few fights, but he looked like the Tony of old.
He looked
good.
No, but he looked like he aged. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he did.
That whole year off, I don't think that benefited him at all. I think because he was great. I remember him from the Ultimate Fighter show.
Oh, yeah, he was.
And he was great. I was like, oh, he's going to be a somebody. And then I don't know what happened.
Well, he was performing. He was the big one that everyone wanted to see him fight Khabib. I mean, everyone wanted to see Tony fight Khabib, but they tried to set that fight up like 4 gazillion times. You know, it was kind of like been waiting for the best man Han. It was like, when are they going to fight? My God, it's taking so long. You know what I mean? But he had some bad luck. He looked good in this one, though. He got caught, dude. That front kick up the freaking middle from Chandler. Dude, that's one of the best knockouts ever. It was
I was just gonna say, how do you even defend that?
Well, you don't defend it the way he was in, and he had his hands out. If you noticed,
Right.
Okay, instead of having it in, he was in a transition position, and they read this because Michael Chandler talked about this. You know, after the fight, he's like, we knew that sometimes in certain transitions he would be here, he's coming in, but then all of a sudden he would come up like this. He was right up the middle. Pretty much at that point, he was almost like squared up. He wasn't even angling off to the right or left. He was just exposed. Boom.
Yeah, it was clean.
Dude.
It was so clean. He got him spot on, right in the jaw, out cold. But he was out, and I think he was like shaking too on the ground.
Oh yeah, he was freaking out. I think like at least 60 seconds. I think it was more like 90 seconds. Like he still wasn't moving. Like Rogan was saying, like he's not moving yet.
Yeah,
he was like completely like laid out and like freaking stretched out.
Joe Rogan's reactions to like these is the best.
But he's like,
yeah, every single time. Like, something crazy happens. It's insane. It's so funny.
That's what we should do. Like when Hot Toys does an announcement, we should go live and you and I should go, what? What the heck, man? Yeah, what a fun weekend it was. What a fun week. Great UFC fights. Great freaking week for Star Wars, Hot Toys. Let's say hi to some of the human beings that are in here. Or is it possible that one of these people in the chat is the Hot Toys Wizard? You know, the Hot Toys Wizard does take on everyone's likeness. You know, is TK FOMO in the chat? And is this what they call me? Is this what they call Fabio? Is this what they call Dante, who I see is in the chat? Or is this what they call anybody in the chat?
They call him the Wizard.
I don't know. Let's see who we got over here. We got the Collector One. What's up there, brother? Preach FabsFigures. Rogan's reactions are priceless. What's going on? Riley's reviews. One half of the Wonder Twins. The Collector number 1. Yo, what is going on, my friend? And look, speaking of athletes, woo! It must be. It must be. Come on. Freaking the Market Show live. What is up, buddy? 808 Michigan Jedi. What is going on? 6 scale Cantina. You have to get a Wizard's cap. Dude, that's a great idea. We should get like wizard caps and stuff like that. Like I said, like wizard. 808, let me serve you up. I know you're with Grogu, baby. So let me go ahead and serve you up. You deserve one on the house for what a great idea. Come on, man. Let's continue to go through these. Fabio and I got a lot to go over. Ashley is in the house. What is going on, dude? Good to have you in here. Uncommon Flex. Welcome, brother. Welcome to the Cantina. Beskar Kid. What is going on? Come on. And let me try and continue to scroll up over here. I never heard of this guy. Man of Hot Collectibles. Well, hello to you. Welcome in here. I don't know if I've ever heard of the man, or maybe this is the Hot Toys Wizard. I'm not sure. Welcome in here, Dante. TX Boy 210 is in the house. What is up? And the Collector number 1. Not sure if I flashed you in there. I flashed you twice. Punisher X XS. What is up? And Big Bretta. Big Bretta's in the house. Is this Jose or Julio? Julio Iglesias or say what's his name? Joao, what is up, brother? Good to have you in here. What is the song that Julio Iglesias sings? Is that the one? To all the girls I've loved? I don't know. I think it's Beskar Kid. What is up, my man? Bob Dylan. Is this Saturday Night Live? Should I play the intro again? Good to have Bob Dylan in the house. Pablo Meza, what is up, my friend? Hot Toys was silent for Monday. Hopefully something tonight. You know, as we say hi to everyone here, Fabio, I'm not shocked with this. I still think we may get something this week, but you know what next Monday is, my friend? Next Monday, at the stroke of midnight on Sunday next week, it is May 16th. And you know what May 16th is, right, brother?
Yeah, the day after May 15th, I think.
I thought it was the day after the 14th. I thought that they changed numerically.
Oh, man.
It's the freaking anniversary Attack of the Clones. We'll see. I still think we're going to get some. I think we may get a release tomorrow, perhaps. I think there some type of mystery reveal tomorrow from Sideshow.
Apparently, so that's what I heard. I don't know. I don't ever watch her, revealed, unsealed, and reveal videos. I never watched anything they do. I do follow them, and I did hear though that they had something scheduled. Apparently, I don't know what it is. I didn't look into it, so I have no idea. I mean, I would hope it's a figure for us, but who knows at this point?
Yeah, and it might not even be Star Wars. Maybe it's cable. Who knows what it is? Yeah. I can guarantee you one thing, Pablo. Yeah. Well, I can guarantee you one thing. You're going to get some Star Wars heat next Monday for sure. I think midnight's going to be a little maddening next week. Let's continue to go up here. Jared, what is up? Good to have you in here, my friend. Single songwriter, what is up, brother? Hello, collectors from the galaxy. Hello to you. Do we have to wonder what table Popsic sits at 5 and Grogu just jumped there? Come on, baby. Valiant, what is up to you? Good to have you in here. Puerto Rican Sith Lord, what is up? Finally, I get to catch Aries live. So excited to see. Could possibly hit tonight. There could be something that hits tonight. What do you think, Fabio? I mean, I think we were talking about this last week where people were talking about, I know there's no doubt we're going to get stuff. And welcome in here, AJ, as well. Welcome in here, JB. If I missed you, just keep going in there. Moises is in here. What is up? Dr. Julius is in here. What is going on? And if I missed you, just keep going on over there. Welcome. But do you think we're going to get something this week? Do you think we're going to get an announcement? Do you think we're going to get a release? Do you think we're going to get both?
I mean, at this point, with the amount of announcements we got, last week, I would hope, and we got the Spider-Man, Miles Morales, Bodega Cat figure released also. So, and that's a Marvel figure. So I would hope at this point, Django maybe being, it's not going to be Marvel, Star Wars. Besides that,
cover of the banner,
right? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else could be coming. I mean, it would make sense for Django, and that's like the one figure that I feel like it's next. So I don't know.
I feel like that's going to be the one tomorrow. Very, very quite possibly it could be. And I actually do think we may get more. It wouldn't shock me if we get the next wave this week. And we actually, they could do this in a number of ways. And I'll bring this up on the screen as we start going with the market value chart. First, as I bring this up with Fabio and I to talk through. Look at this, man. 4 freaking weeks, dude. 4 weeks. Yeah. 4 weeks, and Bespin freaking Luke is still number 1, both of them, beating Moon Knight. Look at that freaking R2. Look at all those clothes. Look at all those releases. There's a C-3PO. This is with the Marvel tucked in. Mike, at 330, I mean, man. That is like crazy, dude.
We got to get a figure like for us to get a figure that's going to knock him down. I personally think it has to be number 1, another Star Wars figure, and number 2, I think the only one that can knock him down at least in the beginning would be a Han release, a Han announcement.
So let me ask you this, buddy. Are you surprised that the Bespin Luke is still up there over 4 weeks later? I mean, eventually it's gonna they all go down, but
absolutely not, because we know that people have been wanting him, asking about him for a long years at this point. And the fact that we got him, I think people asking for another Bespin, I think they were expecting another 2-pack. But because it wasn't that, you have to get what is, what's available. And like Dante said before, which I didn't think about at all, because I figured this is what they're going to give us. Boom, here you go, a Bespin, so they could just move on to Bespin Han and then whatever else. But knowing Hot Toys, it's inevitable that the battle damage Bespin Luke is coming as well. So that's going to be interesting, to see how long it's going to take them to announce, or even if they decide to announce it.
You know what's interesting? I was talking about this, and we were talking about it last week, and we're getting more into it now. Obviously with all the heat, and honestly, with 5 drops, how do you just okay, it's over? It's going to be a lot of discussion. And I've got 6 scale Cantina up. We're going to go to it in a minute and take a look. But with all the last like freaking announcements, you count Bespin Luke, which we just looked at. You count the Anakin that was released from the Clone Wars. You count this Django that everyone's anticipating. Maybe that's tomorrow. It's certainly this month. We're getting it this month.
Mm-hmm.
You talk about the 5 freaking drops. Dude, it's all old stuff. It's old stuff. It's stuff that's passé. It's stuff that's from the past. How surprised are you at this? I was starting to get into it. And people were sending me a message saying, hey, thank you, Aries, for the analysis on Saturday. You're kind of going into the differences, between Star Wars and different IPs. Not that one is better than the other. It's just kind of different in certain ways. And we've talked about this before. But how surprised are you that they actually went ahead and did this, and they did it in such a freaking big way? Wow, so quick.
Well, what do you mean, the announcements? Like all those announcements?
And it all being stuff passé, stuff being from the past, nothing.
Well, number one, it was very unexpected to me. The one thing that was very, very surprising to me was the amount of announcements. Okay, so that was number one.
Mm-hmm.
As long as I've been collecting, I don't remember Hot Toys ever doing that many. Mm-hmm. I don't remember ever even, paying attention to them releasing, 2 things at once. So to me, that was, oh my God. Number 2, the fact that it was all Star Wars, but not only which would make sense why it was Star Wars, but not only the fact that it was Star Wars, but specifically Episode 2. Why?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because when we talk about Star Wars, we always talk about, OT, not so much Star Wars in general, but mostly OT. And I feel like this is what the OT is what most people want. It's the reason why the Episode 2 is shocking is because now that we see what they announced, and we go back to what we've seen in the past of them announce and show us and tease and, the prototypes and all that stuff. Now it all comes together and it creates a bigger picture of the future. And that's what's like, oh my God, anything's possible at this point. And that's what's crazy.
Yeah, I agree, man. They kind of really painted a picture with this.
Yeah.
And, it's been very interesting. I think the picture is very clear that over the last month, it has virtually been all, except for that KX Enforcer droid. It has been all original trilogy or prequels era type stuff, all legacy characters from the past, and they're doing it in a big way. Thank you so much, Serge, for the $1 put in over here, my friend. Come on. Thank you so much. And I think you put this in here, putting this up here, Serge. This comment. I don't know if you meant to put this with it, but thank you for the $1 drop. Couldn't celebrate on May 4th. So celebrating now. Let me fill you up, baby. Are you sitting at table 77?
This is where the fun begins.
I think it already started last. I think people are saying it started May 4th. It started May 1st with the tease of R2 and 3PO. I think it started April 13th with that Bespin Luke. Come on, baby. Listen, and hit the like button while you're watching Aries and Fabio with the Market Show live. We thank you so much for the support. So we got a freaking 90 in here already. Definitely go ahead and hit the like button. We appreciate that. And yes, Serge, we are celebrating with you as well, my friend. You know, here's an interesting thing, Fabio, pulling this up onto the screen, you know, as we're looking at this here. You know, as I scroll down and go to the latest news, this is minus the Best in Luke. I just took that down, even though it was only 4 weeks ago. But, you know, pulling this up on here again, we are preparing for more collectibles for Star Wars Attack of the Clones in celebration for the 20th anniversary. Stay tuned on our next wave of thrills. Was right after this below it, C-3PO, R2, this freaking pilot, that battle droid, that clone trooper. Before that, you know, you had the tease of C-3PO and R2. You had the release of Clone Wars Anakin. Before that, you had the Best in Luke. I mean, this is almost like a Star Wars fan's dream. I mean, if they want to unleash Frog Lady tonight, I'm going to be so happy and open to see Frog Lady at this point. Because, you know, we were talking about if they just gave one figure of love for the legacy. Jeez Louise, dude.
I think if anything, Jar Jar Binks would be before, just because of the fact that it's the episode 2 celebration. I feel like Jar Jar would be before Frog Lady, because obviously we know that they slowed down with the Mandalorian releases at this point, so, or, you know, announcements at least. So that's why I feel like if anything, Jar Jar Binks would be before Frog Lady, which would be awesome too.
Yeah, pulling this up onto the screen here from It's Popsic with the $5 drop. Thank you so much for the support. What a great supporter It's Popsic is. Almost coming up on 1 year of being a Cantina insider here on the channel. Another shout out to It's Popsic for the support that way. Thank you so much there, my friend. And with the $5 drop, he says Fabs was late once again. I know. That's the reason why we were late, dude. Unlimited refills courtesy of at table 5. Fabio, I hope you can pay for that, man. I can't afford that. If Fab fixes his TNA, what is TNA? Do you have a Trans Am, dude? Is that what that means? Can't wait for next wave. I'm already up to 10 pre-orders from the 4th. Oh, isn't that an interesting thing? 10 pre-orders.
I think his membership's about to get suspended real quick.
You know what's interesting about this? I received so many messages on this dude. When the May 4th came, and there was even one on the chat here, I think, when you and I were live. It was like, Aries, I'm getting back into collecting the Hot Toys Star Wars. I feel so invigorated. I feel so hopeful. I feel like there's no way now with this, and then with this announcement, that they're not going to give me the selection I really want. And I'm getting message after message after message after message. And that's one thing that I was like kind of really hoping that they would do, is give us a selection that would really please fans. Very, very interesting here. I don't know if Popsic 10, because he gets 2 or 3 or 4 like you, or if he decided to get some other figures because he was excited about those figures. No, people do that. People are like, oh, they came out with this one, that one. Let me buy this one. I wasn't gonna, but now I want to freaking buy it. It has a little bit of that into it.
It's true. No, people, and that's what makes the figures, you know, go up in value and sell out quicker as well. You know, there are figures that you know, people don't want at all. And then when they announce something, you know, that may be, you know, related to that line or to that specific figure, or, you know, a companion piece for that figure, then it's like, oh, like I really want it. So yeah, that happens all the time. Absolutely. And it's great because, you know, not only are you collecting more, but the pieces that you are getting look better together.
Absolutely. And Popsic also puts in with 100 in here, deploy the likes. Come on.
Deploy the likes.
Deploy the likes. Take a freeze. Hit the like button, baby. And if this is the first time you're watching the 6-scale Cantina, please hit the subscribe button. I do appreciate your support. This is the first time you're seeing Fabio. You know, he does got a channel, FabsFigures. It's awesome. He's got the biggest 6-scale collection I've ever seen. I've got the link already in the video description. Go ahead and subscribe to Fabio. We're going to have a giveaway at the end of the month The last Saturday of the month, it's going to be during Celebration. You're not going to want to miss the Saturday show. Even though the Saturday show is live and raw and it's just me, we'll have Fabio on that day. And we're going to have Joao on that day. And we're going to have Dante on that day. And we're going to celebrate this month. There's going to be a ton to celebrate. I'm going to have a giveaway. Fabio's going to have a giveaway. You are going to have to be subscribed and comment on a video we'll tell you about in order to be eligible to enter, but that's going to be coming later in the month. But you might as well subscribe now, for sure. Look who's in here, Ray from Hawk Wars Toys. Yeah, we got some secondary market stuff. Good to have you in here, Ray. And Ray, for the Hot Toys giveaway here at 6 Scale Cantina, he will be the sponsor again. So you're going to get your free hot toy right from Hawk Wars Toys. You all know about Hawk Wars. He was the one that gave you the selection the last time before the holidays. He's going to do it again here. We're going to do it at the end of the month to celebrate this month. Damn. Good to have Ray in here. But, dude, yeah, this is like, here's the thing. You know, when they're saying here, stay tuned on our next wave of thrills, and they made sure that they put it up. Like, this was pretty strategic. They put it up the day after Revenge of the 5th. Like right that midnight, they're like, hey, we saw the reaction. We saw what was going on. By the way, and I don't think that they just decided to do this on a wing and a prayer. I think if the reaction sucked, they would have pulled it. But I think that they were anticipating it would be hot. They had it planned. They freaking did this, dude. So I wasn't exactly sure it was going to be this week. That was the thing. It may be this week. It could actually be tonight. They may just give you one figure on the 16th, and they're planning to do this week. I actually think, though, they're going to do it next Monday, and I think it'll be a wave. What do you think?
Yeah, I feel like if they're going to do something, the fact that they got the response that I feel like that they were looking for out of these 5 announcements like this, back to back to back to back, I feel like they're satisfied with that, and I feel like they're going to give us, because look at it, it's saying wave. It's not saying next releases or next announcements. It's just saying wave, right? So that means that whatever's coming, it's going to be at least 3 to 5 more figures, right, to be able to call it a wave. So yeah, so I feel like this is not, you know, just winging it at all. This was 100% planned. And again, this is where it gets tricky for me because, you know, this came, I don't really know when this was announced. I don't know if it was the day after the announcements or the
day after, May 5th.
Day after,
yep.
Right. So, like I said, they probably saw the response that they got and they were like, wow, let's do this again.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if they hadn't gotten a good response or people were complaining or people were, you know, turned off about the announcements, I feel like even if they had planned to give us a second wave, I feel like they would have spaced it out instead of giving us another 3 to 5 figures back to back. Again, if they hadn't, if they expected a better reaction from the public than they got what they wanted. They're doing it again, which is awesome for us.
You know, to get in some stuff that we're going to get into in this show, and then we're going to touch on this later on in the show as well. Again, you are watching the Market Chart Show. The Market Chart Show live with Aries and Fabio here on a Monday evening. Great to have you in here. Let me know what table you're at. We will serve you up. Come on, baby. If I were to guess, you may get something this week. You may even get a couple of teases. Remember, before they unleashed that, they actually teased R2 and C-3PO. They actually did, and then they dropped it off. All they teased here, what I'm showing on the screen, Fabio, was that they're going to do it again. They're like, oh, don't start any conversation. This was one and done. This is where I think this is deliberate. I want to get into it a little bit with you as we get into this. I think that they watch a lot of videos in the community. I think that they have studied and gotten intel on some of the videos that come out in the community. So already the first logic would have been they'll never do this again. And they come out right after saying, by the way, look at this. And what's happened before is going to happen again. That's why I really think it's going to happen. If it was my guess, though, I think you get it on the anniversary. I think you get all the Cad Banes and Boba Fett's and Chrysanthemums at Celebration. They're going to show them. I think they may have an Obi-Wan figure there that they're going to show you from the show. And I think they're going to have some other stuff there at Celebration that won't be this. They may have some of these figures that they've already shown. But I think they're going to save Celebration for anything but this. I think we're going to get it on the anniversary.
I mean, to me, that would make sense. I feel like if they need to announce anything that's not Star Wars, it'll be done between now and the anniversary, because it would only make sense to make those, that next wave of announcements during the anniversary. But again, with Hot Toys, you never know. It would make sense. I think that's what it's happening as well, because I don't think they're going to spread out, figures when they're calling it, our next wave. They already gave us one wave. The next one's coming. So I don't think it's going to be spread out at all. I think it's going to be, rapid fire like we got the first wave.
Fabio, Mr. Pew Pew wants wizard juice at table 66. A very dangerous table. Should I serve him up or not?
Absolutely.
I'm still infatuated. Who would win in a stare down, Pennywise or this guy? I mean, I love it. I mean, who would win a staring contest, you think?
I think Pennywise.
Wait, they play this again, even over this?
Yeah, you want to know why? Because he would look at him, he would look at Pennywise and be like, "Why are you smiling?" And then he would leave.
Oh my goodness gracious! This is some funny stuff. Yeah, we're going to talk more about this, a little bit later in the show. Happy to serve you up there, Mr. Pew Pew. Let me know what table you're at, and Fabio and I will serve you up. All this heat, let's go back to this heat, because this ties into it. Look at this, Fabio. Look, dude, and it's a lot of OT, and it's a lot of prequels. So you're seeing a little bit of a trend here. We're seeing it at Sideshow when you sort it out best-selling wise, minus your Mandos. Mando's a legacy character. You even got those freaking Beskar ones that are, I mean, it's just insane. They know what they got there with him. They know what they got with the Prime characters with that. You're seeing it with the Luke from there. That's insane. But look what you're seeing here secondary market-wise. And I want to talk about Darth Maul and Vader, because the Sith Lords, baby. The Sith Lords, everybody in the chat, we're going to tie this into Attack of the Clones. We're going to tie this into what can happen this month. But the Sith Lords are absolutely insane right now. And if you're at table 1, I'll play you where the Sith Lords is. But, dude, before we get to the Sith Lords, I got to show this to you. Pull this up on the screen. So I'm keeping track of this particular release. This is Han and Chewbacca from A New Hope. Now, I want you to check this out. Today it ended. 23 freaking bids. Now, good seller, 100% positive, 31. But again, when you're buying something this big, Fabio, 31 isn't exactly the most reassuring feedback you can get when you're with $1,000, but still pretty good. Still pretty good. Still went for a 960. If this was someone with higher feedback, it probably goes for more. This is $1,000 really, because $60 is ridiculous. This is in California, so you could go ahead and take $40 off that. It's 20, so it's $1,000. It's not even counting taxes. So people ask me all the time, is this this is right now $1,003 on the market value chart? And we don't just go over what's trending up and down. Well, this is trending up, but this is, dude, even with someone with this feedback, which is good, it's a lot, dude.
Well, they're not looking for they're not worried about the feedback, because they know that they're covered with eBay anyway, so it's not the problem.
Yeah.
They're looking at what the person's selling, which is a very, very rare, wanted piece. I mean, to pay $960, man, I think Dante owes me a lot of money still.
Dude, is there even like look at the heat on this? Even with all the heat we get for everything Star Wars in the secondary market, it doesn't stop. And you see where that Bespin Luke is. I mean, look at these pictures. This guy did a good job on his auction. He showed a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, here's the first one. You know, Ray at Hawk Wars always talks about this. Ray puts up a ton of pictures. Ray answers a lot of questions.
The one thing that I don't like, and this is, this is just me. The fact that it's called new, but it's, you have pictures of everything inside, like, and you have a shipper. Why are you opening it for pictures? That's what I don't like. If something's sealed, right, leave it sealed. I feel like opening it like this, you can't call this sealed. Absolutely not. You can't. And new, how is this new? It's open. The whole thing is open. So that's tricky to me. But it's still complete. It looks like it's never been removed out of the plastic wrappers, which is, I guess, how he gets away with calling it new. But you don't need to open this. Just take pictures of literally every side of the box. Show that the tape's not damaged. Show that it's the one single piece of tape. Show that it's not missing tape anywhere, which is what happens when you remove the original tape. It looks faded because it ripped off some of the cardboard. So if you're gonna put up a sale, don't open the box and call it new. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me.
No, where it does make sense to me, sometimes, especially with a figure like this, if it's a reputable seller and they're opening up the box to make sure that everything that you're being rest assured. I've talked to a lot of people. They're like, hey, I want to know what's inside that box. I want to see it. And if you get a reputable seller that does that, I personally like it, Fabio. But I get where you're coming from.
Yeah, I've never done that, and I would never do that for somebody telling me, "Oh, can I see what's inside?" Absolutely not. It's sealed.
That's a good point.
It loses value. It cannot be called brand new sealed when it's open for picture. Absolutely not.
And you know what the interesting thing is to me on some of these type of things like this is, if you're just honest about it and say, hey, I opened it up. Hey, it was on display. It was just displayed. Put in all the pictures. Show the shipper box. Show the art box. Dude, I see so many of them where there's the pictures and everything's right where it sells just as much as a new one many times. These shipper box, dude, people dig having this, dude. The shipper box is important.
It's funny, and I don't know if I've told you guys this story, but when I first started, I started with not when I first started, when I got my first few figures, the Avengers line was like what was like newish at the time. I don't have a single shipper for any of those figures. I threw them all out because I didn't know. I was like, oh, this is how they come. Cool. I was like, this is the shipping box. Let me throw it away. Over time, I started noticing that, you need the shippers for the figure to be, to a certain extent, complete. And I don't mean complete with the accessories. I mean the entire figure complete. So people actually lose money. If they don't have the shipper, which I was like, what? I was like, it's a box. What are you going to do with the box? But now I understand what it means to have a shipper. So, for people in the community who just started, you will learn as time goes on, don't fall for the hype. Don't go crazy over stuff. Take your time and you'll see what the game is all about eventually. If you have any questions, ask somebody that you feel comfortable talking to, asking questions to, that you think that could, help you out or lead you the right way. I get messages from people asking me questions, people I've never spoken to, asking me my advice about, figures and should they buy this and what do they think of this and what should I look for this. And so, and I'm very open and whoever has a question for me, if anybody has asked me a question and I've never answered, I probably didn't get your message, but I answered literally 100% of all the questions I get.
And for me, I kind of agree with Hawk Wars on this. It's a good point, but we'll talk more about it, Fabio. Like, for me, buying a Han of this age, these boots look pretty good because so many of these boots, I mean, they look pretty good there. I think this guy scored on this pack. And that's a pretty good price for what it's going. Honestly, it just is. I mean, Han Solo's going way more than $500 by himself, and he paid this is over $1,000, and Chewbacca's going $500. But putting that comment up from Hawk Wars, what do you think of this? Where he says, Fabio, tough one on this one, Fabs. I would never buy a Solo, and he's talking about this Solo figure, without viewing the boots. I mean, that was always my big concern. Mine was good. I saw it, but
yeah, but that that doesn't apply. That's up to the seller if they know that. So, for example, all my figures I've ever gotten have been from Sideshow, right? So I've never had a problem with getting faded things or whatever. The Han Solo 2-pack that I sold to Dante, I had it in here for years. When he got it, brand new. When I sent you your figure as well, it was what? Brand new. So So right. So the thing is with Ray's comment is depending on how you store your figures is what matters. So if I know how I keep my figures, I don't need to open them. I personally don't need to open them. And I would not purchase something labeled new if it was open. Absolutely not happening. I don't care if it's to show me that it's not rotting, that it's not fading, that's up to me to find out when I open the item. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say that's a great point because you and I were actually talking about this the last show. I actually have, for people that are Cantina insiders, they've recently saw a show, which is my pleather treatment and climate control tips for collecting in general. Because I always have to make sure that the bubbles on vintage figures, on those old box figures, that they don't get yellow. There's a whole climate thing involved. Really, with these Hot Toys, even if you have a Solo like this, honestly, if you have a climate like the way I keep it, it ain't going to. That's probably going to be less likely to happen. So just another plug in there. If you're going to if you want to check that video out, join and become a Cantina insider. You'll see that whole treatment video that Fabio was talking about that I put out. I actually do it in person, where I show you like actually take my Empire Strikes Back 40th Vader, and I treat the whole damn thing in front of you. And then I actually show you this Han Solo we're talking about, and actually treat the boots, and I pull mine out and show you how the boots are good.
Yeah, no, and like I said, the thing with with buying stuff like that, if you, for example, like great example with the boots, if you know that there's a figure that is having that issue, whether it's a leather jacket that's faded like the Terminator, or the boots for Han, or stuff like that, your best bet is to make sure that that product is 100% sealed. Because even if you have it in a warm, humid area, the fact that it's still completely sealed in its plastic bag, like it comes from Hot Toys, there's no reason for the figure to be damaged. What damages it is being exposed to the elements for too long of a time, or adding chemicals on it or whatever. So a figure being sealed should not be ruined when you open it, unless it was exposed to something while being opened. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, this is an interesting comment from Single Songwriter, because I have figures too that I got from Hong Kong, and they don't get the shippers. And I think when you resell it, if you state that you get it there, there's no problem, because they just don't have those shippers there. Because he said, I bought my Hot and Chewbacca in the individual boxes directly in Hong Kong, and they did not come with shippers. Right, when I was in Hong Kong in that happens a lot. So that's part of it.
They come with a plastic bag, completely wrapped in a plastic bag. And that's the plastic bag that keeps the humidity, the moisture, all out of the actual figure.
And here's the thing.
It's very important to have that plastic bag around the box of the figure.
And here's the other thing. He brings this up. And you may be like, well, you can get a plastic bag anywhere. You can go to Sam's Club and get a plastic bag. Yeah. But I actually keep all those plastic bags. I never toss them out. And I actually keep the plastic bag, whether I get it from Hong Kong or Sideshow as a shipper box. And I keep it with everything. So that's important, collectors out there. Don't toss that bag with the box, even if you're displaying the art box, which I do.
Correct.
And eventually I'll show my collection. I keep the bag. The bag goes in. I keep every shipper box. I keep the bag. The bag is important. The other thing that's important, like we were just looking at that figure, all the wraps that go around the arms, the feet, the head, I keep all the plastic. I never toss it. I have it in the art box, dude.
Yeah, the plastic bag I never throw away, because again, that's how I keep my figure sealed, even in the shipper, because I never reseal the shipper. I just leave the shipper open. but I leave the plastic bag completely closed, like how it came, for that reason. But yeah, as long as you have everything, when you receive it, because I know, Hot Toys, they put those boxes immediately in those plastic bags as soon as that box is completely filled with the figure and everything that has to go in it. Those figures are kept in those plastic bags, and if you notice, that's how when you go into Secret Base or wherever you buy them, that's how you get them. They give you the figure in a box wrapped in a plastic bag, and then they give you your shopping bag, like from whatever store you got it from. So that's why they give you that plastic bag. They know exactly why you're getting that plastic bag. If not having the plastic bag didn't make a difference, believe me when I tell you, you wouldn't be getting a plastic bag.
And here, I'll put some of these comments up over here. Hawk Wars Toys says, temp control is important. Great point, Fab. Absolutely. Ray, Beskar Kid says, preserves it exactly. Commander Crook goes, total climate control is mandatory. Temp and humidity must be maintained. 808 Michigan Jedi says, my plastic bag stays wrap around all my boxes inside of a brown shipper.
Exactly.
JB, agreed. The original plastic bag and internal fixings are always kept. Good to have JB in here. Yeah, no, absolutely. This is Commander Crook also says, I maintain a 45% humidity level. None of my figures have ever peeled, cracked, or flaked since 2008. Fabio, you talked about that too, and I knew you was talking about it. You have you're close to 900 now. You're probably beyond that. You're certainly beyond the 1,000 with everything in the boxes, really, because you counted them last year. So you're definitely you're close. You're close to getting to that 1,000 range. I don't think you've ever had a pleather problem, have you? The way you keep the climate.
No, not with the newer Hot Toys. Not a single Hot Toy of the newer ones have been damaged. There's actually one of my very, very first Hot Toys that right now I didn't get it like that, but for some reason that material of that jacket is gone. Like it's completely. It looks like it's going to turn into dust if I touch it. That's how bad it got. But it's been with every other figure. So I know it's specifically only that figure. I know it wasn't the climate where I had it. I know it wasn't, the me putting chemicals on the material. It was none of that. That figure was with every other figure. It's the only one that got damaged. So therefore, it wasn't the temperature. It was that specific figure. So, which is fine. It's not a big deal. What am I going to do about it? I actually went on eBay to find the jacket again, and the only jacket that's available for sale looks worse than the one I have. So why buy it? So I just left it alone.
Going into bringing up the market value chart here. I'm bringing up the top figure. I sorted it out best-selling wise. So when you go to the market value chart for Star Wars, remember we got the Marvel market value chart that is up here at 6scalecantina.com. It's under construction. I'm working on it right now. It should be ready to go in about a month or two. Fabio's helping me with the Marvel market chart. We're going to get actually everything up here at 6scalecantina.com. A lot of work, but we love doing this. And really, we're bringing in this data is really significant, to really show the market, Fabio. And look here. I mean, I pulled up best-selling wise, and we're talking about that Han and Chewie that just sold for 1,000. And right now, the current value steady at $1,002, selling right where it actually is. And with a seller, like I said, the feedback does matter, even though eBay protects you. But I know for me, I don't want to go through the trouble of all that rigmarole. I know when there's a lot of feedback, I'm like, okay, this person knows the drill, and I'm not going to get effed here with this. But so I do see it make a difference in how these go. But right on par with the value here on that one with all those bids. Dude, this set is insane. And here's the thing I want to ask you. Here's the price it's sitting at, which is the average right now. When you look at that Bespin Luke, you look at all this heat that dropped. It is going to be very interesting today because everything I'm going to show on here all has to do with legacy characters that Hot Toys is putting out. You see Bespin Luke up there for over 4 weeks now. 4 weeks. You see what's going on with Han and Chewie, and Han off the charts. I was talking about Han and Chewbacca from Empire Strikes Back. I don't know, dude. I get a little bit of a feeling that they put that Bespin Luke out, and something's going to happen. I almost wonder if they're going to put Han and Chewbacca out together, though. That's what I want to talk to you about. I'm starting to feel like I know we're going to get Han, and I know we're going to get Chewie. I just feel like they may just say, hey, here's Bespin Han, but you got to get him with Chewie, which is no problem from me because you don't have a freaking Chewbacca from Empire Strike. I mean, I could see them doing that. I mean, I want him I don't know. What do you think here?
Well, just like they gave us, you wouldn't think of another dynamic duo better than C-3PO and R2, and they give them to us separately. So, of course, Han and Chewie are coming, even though we've gotten them together, just like we've gotten the Bespin Luke, a 2-pack together. I feel like Hot Toys is like, we did that already. Let's give them something different. And then for people who just want which that's what we got the first time. If you wanted Chewie alone, if you wanted Han alone, and if you wanted them together, you got the special edition, 2-pack, which is great. But I feel like they're saving, I don't know, boxes by not doing that. I don't know. But
would they give you a bargain? So let me ask you a question. If let's say they do it like that, which I agree, you get Han separate, you get Chewie separate, or you could get it together. Is the benefit of getting them together for visual, or is it a cheaper price, or you get an extra thing? What do you think? An extra accessory?
Well, the reason why I bought the 2 double packs was because number one is just an easier buy, and number two, so storage wise, you have one bigger box, which is fine. When it came to the, did it come with anything special? It came with the headset. And I believe the belt for Han and Chewie. So that was the special edition accessory that came with it. So of course, that's what made anybody who wanted the special pack get it. And so I don't think they're gonna do that again. I feel like they're giving us Luke separately by himself. They gave us R2 and C-3PO by themselves. Han's coming by himself. Chewie's coming by himself.
100 in here. You are watching the Market Show live. I am the Dark Jedi, Aries Tarrington. My friend Fabio is in the house with me. And we are serving up all your Star Wars Hot Toys talk. We're talking about Han and Chewbacca. Another one just sold for $1,000, not including the taxes and the extra 20 in shipping I'm calculating in there. From what I just showed you in here, sold today. So U.S. seller, bid-wise. Fabio, are we just going to get, and this is on the market value chart. You can see it highlighted. Right now, the market value chart shows it at $1,002 and steady. Is this a figure that, are we just going to get, I'm just going to ask you straight out. I have a thought on this, and I think you and I have talked. Are we just going to get Attack of the Clones in May 16th? Celebration. Is it going to be Attack of the Clones?
Absolutely.
But just Attack of the Clones and Mando and Book of Boba Fett, nothing else? Or are we going to get OT like this Han because they gave us Bespin Luke April 13th?
Go back to the announcement. It shows you right there, next wave, and it has the episode 2 logo on it, I believe. So
well, that wave, they're coming out with another wave for Attack, but they were specific on it. And I'll pull it back up while we're talking, but they were specific on it that it was for Attack of the Clones. They're going to come out with a wave.
Right.
But why did they give us that Bespin Luke? And when you see something like this Han figure, I don't know. I just think we're going to get that at Celebration.
No, we're going to get more stuff, absolutely. But the next wave is going to be specifically
has to be
episode 2.
Here it is.
But
it says right here to celebrate its 20th anniversary. So it has to be for that. Yes.
100%. But it doesn't mean that we may not get any more Star Wars. No, that's not what that means. Because like you just said, we just got, Bespin Luke. So there's more coming. The thing is, what can possibly come after a Bespin Luke besides Han or Leia? So it's interesting what's coming,
Very interesting.
What to think.
Sam Short, welcome in here. Good to have you in here, my friend. Excellent. Dr. Julius Strange Park, my brother buys and sells vinyl records. He's been doing it for years. I used to as well. The ones that are sealed in a plastic wrap, never opened, usually quadruple value over time. I've actually got boxes filled of stuff like that, baby. Yeah, I'll have to go over some things. I'm right with you, Dr. Julius. Continuing to go down over here. Bugman, hello to you. Welcome in here as well. And Chi-Town Collector's Closet, welcome in here as well. And if I've missed you in here, just keep putting in the chat, baby, and I'll serve you up. Let me know what table you're at. I think that Grogu at this point is due for a refill. Let's go ahead and fill him up at table 5. And how about Grogu now jumping all the way to table 88 at the speed of light with IG-11 here. Come on, baby. All right, here's another one, Fabio. Going to the biggest movers section, which ties in.
And another thing, guys, don't forget the next wave, same packaging.
Same packaging. Same packaging. A lot of discussion right now. I want to get to this Vader and Darth Maul. I mean, it's more legacy characters. Darth Maul, you know, it's not Attack of the Clones, but it is Phantom Menace. It's crazy. A lot of debate right now with that packaging for the Django dude. I'm kind of 50-50 on it. I feel like that there is a chance they can do it. I know from production standpoint, it doesn't make much sense that they could get that corrugate in and do it that quickly. Maybe they did, though. Maybe that's why they pushed it out. I think they pushed it out personally because they just wanted to do it during Attack of the Clones month here. That's why I think you're going to get Django between this week and next Monday. That's why I think Django is tomorrow. Anyway, go.
No. To me that makes sense 100% what you just said. I feel like they now that we see what this announcement, that what this huge announcement was, it would make more sense for them to push it, to now, which is, fine, I guess. But the one thing with the whole, packaging, the only way that they could get away with giving us that packaging is, when they do the release, the actual release, that they show the box next to Django. That's the only way they could get away with it. But I don't think so, because when they announced the figure, it was never any type of celebration. It was never any type of anything. So in my opinion, we're getting, the regular packaging for Django. Again, I highly doubt that it's coming with the 20th anniversary package because of the fact of when it was announced. It had nothing to do with this celebration announcement. So that's why I don't think that. But it doesn't mean that it won't or can't, because Hot Toys could do whatever they want, but it wouldn't make sense to me.
Well, you have to wonder, is it possible that we will find out the answer to that tomorrow? And I say maybe we'll hear from the Hot Toys Wizard in the show. Maybe the Hot Toys Wizard is already going to jump on the show. Is this the Hot Toys Wizard?
Oh, no. Why didn't you warn me?
Big Bretta, are you Jules, Big Bretta, Joao, or are you the Hot Toys Wizard? Which one is it?
His name is Jose.
All of them. I'm all of them. I'm all of them.
That is crazy. Welcome in here, Big Bretta. What is going on, brother?
Not much. Just another morning, and I was enjoying your show. And
glad to have you on.
Excited for what we are going to see from Hot Toys.
So
there are some big news.
Did you see that?
Seems that they remove in Secret Base in Hong Kong. They remove everything that they had on display, the prototypes they had there before. They clean everything. Now everything is empty, waiting for new stuff to come in.
Yeah, I saw that today. Yeah. What does that mean for you? It's another sign.
They did that with the Bat Pod, with the Tumbler before. Yeah. They remove before they announce. So I think we will have a crazy week.
Yeah. So, we were talking about this. First we had up the Han Solo and the Chewbacca from the A New Hope, and I'm sure you were listening in on that. Yeah. It's absolutely insane. We brought up Bespin Luke. Bespin Luke is still #1 best-selling wise. Oh my god! And it's like now it's over 4 weeks. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Pulling this up here. Let me get your perspective here, Big Bretta. I think you're right. I think we're going to have a crazy week, but the way that they worded this, I feel like we're going to have a crazy May 16th, which is the actual anniversary. And here's the thing. Yeah, I just feel like, and it lands, that anniversary is actually on a Monday. It's next Monday. So you have to wonder, is it possible that this wave of thrills that they're talking about is actually going to drop Sunday night? What do you think?
It's quite possible. And they can capitalize on that date, celebrate the date with new announcements. It's almost 100% sure that Django is coming today.
Yeah,
it's almost is almost sure. And what
did
better?
you hear from the wizard on that one? Not to interrupt you, but
I did.
You did hear from.
I did.
There you go. Big Bretta has heard from the Hot Toys wizard. I don't know if he was disguised as TK FOMO or Julia Roberts, or Fabio with a cigar.
Or CT Sucker.
There you go. Right there's your news. He heard from the Hot Toys wizard. Anyway, go ahead, Joao. Continue.
No, as I was saying, what better than release Django and announce Mace Windu? It's all connected, and that's why I think we are in for amazing announcements from Hot Toys.
Yeah.
My only fear is that because they are promoting so much a 20-year anniversary of the Attack of Clones, will they bypass any of the original trilogy? Will not announce anything? Will they focus only on this 20-year anniversary and let's call it a May? Because
here's the thing, to answer that question or to kind of talk about it a little bit. I think it ties back to, I feel like they've been crafty. Like, pulling this back up on the screen here, Joao. Fabio and I were talking about this, like, it's very crafty, and they made sure that they put this announcement out right after the very next night, the very next day, 24 hours later. And I feel like, and I was talking about this to your point, during the lead up to this May 4th week, that what was the purpose of the Bespin loot? Was it just happenstance? Was it just and it's seeming like now that everything's been strategic. Is it possible that the Bespin Luke was placed there for us to be able to answer that question and go, aha, we knew you were going to ask that. We put it out so you knew. So you can wonder anyway if another one's going to come out. I think that they will. I think you're going to get a couple of OT actually this month. I really, really do. But what do you think? I think that the Bespin Luke was the table setter to make us maybe think that.
I think it's quite possible, and as you've been saying for many of your shows, Hot Toys is they keep their eyes on the secondary market, and they know how much these figures are going for, and they need to capitalize on that. Han Solo, it's been long requested by all collectors, and we never saw anything from that. I think it's possible that they surprise us with something that will amaze all of us, because I think it's my theory that at this moment Hot Toys is depending a lot on Star Wars.
Yeah, we're going to get into that.
It's depending a lot on Star Wars.
So let me pull this up from Beskar Kid. He says, guys, the next wave will be what was teased: Mace, Clone Commander, and Super Battle Droid. I actually agree. I think they tease those all. Yep. I think that they're going to come out. Wonder what else they will announce. Well, that's what I wanted to ask you guys. He said, I think Padme was also teased, and Kit Fisto. So I think that both of those could come. Here's the other thing, Fabio, you've been calling this, and I agree with you. We cannot discount this Obi-Wan series show. Yeah. I really believe we're getting Anakin. And we're getting Attack of the Clones, Anakin, and Obi-Wan with this. I just do. I just think it's all face sculpts.
And Beskar Kid makes a good point, too. I completely forgot that they teased the B-2 battle droid in one of the pictures too. So that's another announcement as well. I didn't even think about
Mhm.
that. So that's a good one too. But I have a feeling that we're getting a young Anakin and a young Obi-Wan. And I know people are saying no because it's going to look kind of the same. Blah blah blah. I don't think so. It looks nothing like an Obi-Wan right now. Does not look like the Obi-Wan from Episode 2. So we are definitely, the outfit completely different, his hair completely different, the amount of beard hair completely different figure.
He's way younger. Yeah.
So I think we're getting them too as well. And I think the reason why, Hot Toys hasn't hinted at it is because I think they want to get a reaction like they did, with C-3PO, even though, we've seen C-3PO and R2 years ago, as a prototype. They never teased them, again, I feel like for this reason. So that's why we won't get any hints at it, my opinion.
Yeah, but because you think, what's the purpose of announcing a Padme and not announcing a Anakin or Obi-Wan?
No, they got him. Yeah, it's like when's a better time, Joao? Is there a better time to release Padme than when they're coming out with the show?
Time. And Padme was the one, together with Cat Bane, that the rumors here were. Everyone was telling me is 1000% sure Cat Bane and Padme, they are ready to be announced. Until now we didn't see it. Until now there was no announcement. But that one was sure, completely sure, and I was certain of that too. I'm sure they are coming with they are announcing her either this week, next week maximum, and we are going to see exactly the same prototype that we saw before.
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. I'm pulling this up on the screen before we get to some of this other stuff in the market. Here's something really interesting, Fabio. Another Leia figure that's starting to now creep up more towards the mid $350 tier range, up towards the $400, where the Hoth Leia is, and they're all marching up. I predicted that this would happen with this particular figure. You could look right here, and this one had modifications, and it's still sold for $326.99 back on May 7th with 17 bids. Very, very good seller. Over almost 11,025. One away, 100% positive. Not including 25 in shipping, not including taxes. These Leia figures are so good, but when I pull up everything best selling wise, and when I pull up everything selling Leia here, I mean they're way more than $327. But this is actually altered, and not necessarily brand new.
Yeah.
So it sold a little bit less, but man, it just goes to show you how freaking in demand. Not even all the way original. Are you surprised by this? I'm not. I mean, Leia's going up.
I would never be surprised about any female character going, for super high. It doesn't matter who it is, as long as the female figure is sold out. It'll always increase in price to a certain extent because of the fact that just the amount of figures that they make. Supply and demand. They don't make ever as many female characters as they do male characters. So females in general are just that much harder to come by after they sell out. So I'm not shocked about these prices at all. And used, not at all.
Yeah, no. These Leia figures are going up, and that's why I think Joao. They used this head sculpt. This was the third time they used this, Joao, because they also used this head sculpt with Bespin Leia. They used it with the Hoth Leia. And I think when they're seeing all these figures, we were bringing up the Bespin Luke, we're seeing all this stuff with Attack of the Clothes, all these figures that are selling really, really well. I feel like we may, it's going on the secondary market. I don't think they got to reissue these Leias. Just there's several more versions you can do, like the Leia Bouche disguise. They could do actually another Empire Strikes Back Leia, Joao. They could do one with the Bespin Escape when Chewbacca's choking Lando.
Yeah, it's interesting because the Leia Bouche disguise, I think it was made by Hasbro or by some other company, and the reception was quite good. So I really can see Hot Toys releasing a new version. Leia sells very well. Even here sells very well, and the prices here are also high for Leia. The only version that was a bit lower than the retail price was the Bespin Leia, because it was the more simple version, right? And at that time you also didn't have any companion pieces to go with her. Only recently you got Lando, and Han Solo was never announced. But it's like Fabio said. Mostly the female figures from Hot Toys always sell at a higher price, and Leia I think is probably the most famous female figure from Hot Toys at this moment.
Yeah, I was gonna say Leia is like, there's nobody on top of Leia. Leia is like the number one, the most popular, the most wanted, the most sought out after. So she's she's gonna be what it is.
And you notice that with Leia, no one complains about the joints in the arms. Normally everyone say, "Oh, those joints are horrible." It's Leia. We don't care about the joints.
Nobody complains about Leia about anything.
I got the poncho over mine though. I got my display with
Okay.
the poncho behind me. But I hear you. It doesn't bother me. I agree. Because I was like, oh, do I got to put the poncho on because of the joints? I'm like, no. But then I got the Wicket. I love the 2-pack with Wicket. It's like freaking. It's like I love
that
set.
2-pack. That 2-pack, the price is it's incredible. It rose up so much in price.
Yeah, that's another one that's increasing because people have asked me like, "Hey, Aries, is it just the individual figure?" So I'm like, "No, the 2-pack." I mean,
The 2-pack.
I told people way back then. I mean, this was a pretty iconic moment. Return of the Jedi. Those moments between Leia and Wicket. When all of a sudden we hear that music, dun da da dun da da dun da da dun da dun da. I mean, I don't know. I just think it was ingenious 2-pack personally, because we've been talking about will they come out with kid figures, Joao, Fabio, and I, and we were talking about, hey, well, because someone asked in the chat, in our last show, would they ever do a kid Luke like in this Obi-Wan series or a kid Leia? I said, hey, you know what? They basically would use the same body like they did with Yoda or that Wicket. I mean, I could see a Bail Organa and a young Leia. They gave you young Leia and young Wicket. They could do things like that. They could give you an Obi-Wan with that Luke or an Owen.
It's quite possible. Quite possible. They quite possible can do a 2-pack with Obi-Wan and Luke. Quite possible with a younger Luke, younger version.
Another one that's killing it here, guys. Going back to the market value chart, tying into these next wave of thrills, which are obviously, when it comes to Attack of the Clones, going to be thrills for this. But also, we got the Bespin Luke. Also, we're seeing what's selling. And while this is the movie before the Phantom Menace, just skipping Vader for a minute, this Darth Maul, it's the DX16 and DX17.
Don't tell me about it.
It's going so high. Like, let me just pull some of this up. Like, I'm just gonna. And these are all brand new. Because I brought this up with Fabio a couple weeks ago, and like these are all new. So here's a buy it now that just happened yesterday at freaking $491.14 for a DX16. I'll pull up another one here. Pulling this up. I'm just like I keep pulling these up on here. Want to make sure I grab the wire. Here's one for $500 that moved at the end of April, and see if this one over here. I mean, I got so much data on these. That's to say what is before. So let me go ahead and pull this one up. That one's 500. Let me pull this up over here. I mean, it's just so hot. Here's one that went 400, and people are like, "Oh, 400, yeah, with $100 in shipping."
And this is the standard version.
This is the one that's not
with the speeder.
Yeah, and you know what's interesting with this too, as we talk about it, they have 3 versions of this. They have the DX16, they have a special edition one, and I actually don't see the one with the extra hologram piece that goes for really. I mean, I notice if it's brand new, it'll pull up a little bit high, but really I see them almost equal in a way with this figure. But these are without the speeder bike, dude. Yeah, it's without the speeder bike. I mean, that's a lot.
No,
I mean, he's going way up. out of nowhere.
But this small 1 year ago, something like that, it was still reasonably priced, and silently it start increasing until we are now, and we don't know if it will rise up more.
And you know what's interesting about that? I was calling it for a while. I saw a slow burn. So if you see my hand, Joao and Fabio, it was kind of like it would rise and stop, stop, stay there, rise and stop, then rise and stop. But as the solo mall kept doing that, these just kept creeping up. And I said to everybody, is it possible where you look at like Count Dooku and you look at like Director Krennic, is this figure, for how iconic this Sith Lord is it going to possibly blow those away in the future? And I say yes. And I think we're starting to see that now. So it's happening now, and it's been really happening the last few months. It's no joke. I mean, Fabio, you remember from a few weeks ago, where I kept pulling these up. It just keeps happening. What's going on with this figure?
Well, don't forget that you have Clone Wars mall as well. So that affects, any mall that's on the
Yeah, and that actually made it go up. We were seeing a lot of these figures lately where you can get another version. It's having the adverse effect. It's actually making the one in the secondary market go up more. It's like you can buy it right freaking now.
Well, it goes up because number one, it's not from the same line. Number two, it's a completely different outfit. It's not the same figure at all by any means. So, it comes down to Clone Wars. Even though it's Hot Toys, I feel like Clone Wars is its own thing. You know what I mean? Like its own little world within the Hot Toys world. But Star Wars, like everything else, I feel like it's more intertwined, intermingled than the Clone Wars stuff. So Clone Wars will increase the value of itself as time goes on. But that line, in my opinion, I don't think it's going to affect, anything else directly. For example, what are you going to compare the clone troopers to? You can't. So
you can't. Yeah, no.
So within itself, meaning within that line, so you could compare, Cody, and you could compare, all the other ones together, fine, and you could compare pricing within that line. But I don't think you could go and say, I want to compare a 501st Trooper to a regular white Stormtrooper. Like, you can't compare those two things. So that's why I feel like the mall, the Clone Wars mall, is not affecting the DX mall for that reason.
Joao, talk to me about. You said don't talk to you about the DX16, but I'm going to talk to you. What do you think?
No, yes, no, don't talk with me because it was reasonably priced here around 1 month, 2 months ago, and then in a sudden the prices went up a lot. It's quite expensive.
It was more recently priced here too, several months ago, and then it just really, it was that slow burn, but then it just burned all the way up.
Exactly.
It's really interesting. Isn't his iconicness, do you think? Do you think it's maybe because he's Darth Maul and people are realizing, damn, I mean, I don't know when you're going to get that fandom as Darth Maul again, but with all these Darth Mauls are coming out with, that's the one, that's the OG. That's when we met Darth Maul.
I think it helped the fact that there were starting to have rumors about the 20th anniversary of Attack of the Clones. Maybe the collectors start to think, okay, so maybe now there's a chance to collect this line with more characters because we can do the sequels trilogy collection with more characters. There's more to come, so let me get the Darth Maul because he's the only one and appeared in the Phantom Menace. We will have Mace Windu, I have Qui-Gon, I have Yoda. Let me complete a line here with these figures. So I think that's one of the reasons why the price went up. Also because I don't own it, but the Clone Wars, the mall, was not very well received. The people didn't like much that version, so they start to think, I need a mall in my collection. Which one to get? Let's get the one with the speeder, because here everyone wants the DX17, and that one went up on price a lot. Even already used, the price is at this moment is almost impossible to get it.
So, Fabio, do you agree that Clone Wars mall just like, look, it's nowhere near as good as the Phantom Menace one, and people are just like, let me freaking jump on this now.
Like I said, absolutely. The Clone Wars line, great line. I'm not saying anything bad about the line, but that line is, like I said, I feel like it's its own world within Hot Toys. So you can't compare, anything from that line to a strictly directly Star Wars movie figure, because don't forget also, Star Wars Clone Wars is supposed to be an animated series. When something comes from a movie, it's supposed to be a real life character. So that's why with that line is a little bit harder and trickier. But anything regarding movie stuff will always either keep its value or go up in value 100%.
Putting these up on here, 808 Michigan Jedi with the thumbs up. And let's go ahead and put our thumbs up and let's hit the like button in here, baby. Come on, let's go ahead and do this. We have got 85 watching and putting this up on here. Beskar Kid got Bespin Leia a few days ago. Hoth Leia arrived today. Must have all Leias. Absolutely. JB goes Jar Jar and young Anakin 2-pack. When you look at Leia and Wicket, that would be kind of iconic. That's very.
And that's perfect, because what are you going to give Jar Jar Binks as accessories?
Mm-hmm,
also, that'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be a great accessory. I mean, that would be wonderful. Putting this up on here. Pate Strick is in the house. What is going on? Good to have Pate Strick in here. What is going on, my friend? And Elfido is in here as well. Welcome in here. Jeff Sith Orama says, first appearance of Maul Phantom Menace. Absolutely. And then Beskar Kid says, guys, Clone Wars Maul is one of my favorite figures. Underrated. No, I mean, it looks phenomenal. I think that it's always very interesting to dissect these. And he also says Solo Maul is beautiful. No, I'm looking right at the Solo Maul right here. It is fantastic. That figure is bad. Freaking tastic, the Solo Maul. What a great figure. And I'm pulling this up on the screen, guys. Look at this. Right now, the market value chart is 6scalecantina.com. And remember, whenever you go to the Star Wars market value chart, for those that are tuning in late, we are the Marvel market value chart is under construction. Right now, we're at the Star Wars one. You type in mall, all the malls come up, and you can see right here, $483 for DX16 and Rising, and Darth Maul DX17, $560 Rising. It's only $40 away from the $600 tier range. That speeder is awesome, though. But yeah, that's where it's sitting.
I have it. It's beautiful.
Let's go over a couple of the other ones. So again, more OT, more prequels era stuff. We're bouncing back and forth. We're talking about this next wave, Attack of the Clones. We're talking about the Bespin Luke that came out on April 13th, 4 weeks ago. We're talking about what could happen on the anniversary of Attack of the Clones next Monday. What's going to happen at the stroke of midnight on Sunday night next week? What could happen this week? Are we getting the Django tomorrow? I think we heard from the Hot Toys Wizard here. But here's another one that people are asking me about. And I'll pull this up onto the screen right here, guys. This figure is so hot. Look at the Bespin Luke still number one. And this one sold from our buddy here, Ray at Hawk Wars Toys. $485, best offer, $475, not including $23.90 in shipping. This figure is just selling over and over and over again.
What was the selling price?
$475, best offer. Usually on those like $10, $15. This one $475.
That's not bad, and it's used. It's not bad at all.
Yeah, I mean, here's a little tip I'm going to give people. If you don't want the 40th anniversary packaging, the original one is slightly under where this one's going. They're both trending up, though. Like I saw one that sold for like $384 last week that didn't have the packaging. So like $16 below $400, but high, but they're going up too. I mean, it's Vader, baby. I mean, You look at where the Bespin Luke is. How
And-
high can this go in this
Well,
packaging?
I was going to say the fact that, 475, isn't bad for it to be used. That's why I was like, is it used? Because it's shocking that it would go so low. I think this figure, brand new could be up to $800. You know what I mean? Brand new. So used, I would say, in the mid fives, but that's what I'm saying. This 475 is not bad at all.
Joel, how much does this packaging, and you talk about the packaging and how it's going with the 40th anniversary of Boba Fett's, and right now this Darth Vader, which is off the charts because of the Bespin Luke announcements, which is still the #1 selling hot toy for Star Wars. When you put in Marvel, both versions, deluxe and non-deluxe DX25s, are ahead of Moon Knight. Wow, it's lasting the test of time. How much does this packaging play into effect? How much is this packaging going to play into effect for these Attack of the Clones figures? Like getting a Mace in this. How much is this going to mean to have packaging like this for Vader?
Means a lot, and that packaging looks so good. For some days we have been talking that the packaging looks so good that sometimes you even don't want to open it. You just want to let the figure in the package.
It's so hot.
Because it looks good and the package is really amazing. And Hot Toys knows this. That's why they do this packaging, because it makes the figure feels more premium. It gives you a more premium feeling to the figure with this kind of packaging. It's just not a normal packaging. And actually, this Vader right here, the 40th anniversary, I was checking just now. The used one here, I saw a used one with the helmet a bit broken, is selling for $380. And with the helmet a bit broken, and is open already, and
And
was
that's the
used.
thing. I mean, people look for like bargains on some of these figures that are like I had somebody message me and they were like, Ares, we saw a Ray with Dio sell for like $320. I said, yeah, did you look at the picture of the arm where it's all deformed? Oh, okay. And it still goes when people look for these defects, and then these bids go up and up and up. Oh, I'm going to get a real bargain. I'm getting a DX07 for $500. Yeah, did you notice it was missing 2 blasters? Oh, you know what I mean? It's when it's complete, it's crazy. For people that don't care about like some stuff that's damaged and stuff like that. Like I just showed that Leia that it was like customized. Custom figures, as soon as you start playing with these things, people are like, wow, okay. Because then you got to explain it if you're going to resell it again. Hey, I kind of brushed up I made it look a little this. I kind of did this with the clothing. It affects the price. It just does.
Affects the price. And as a buyer, you need to be conscious of that. Even if you like any modification that was made, if any day, for some reason, life happens and you need to resell that figure, you will need to explain again that this was modded by some reason. And I think most of the collectors, at least I don't like to buy figures that was already altered from the original form. I want to get what was as original, right?
Same thing.
So, but let me ask you, Aries, because also for the people that are watching, if a collector at this moment want to buy a Vader, would you recommend them to go pay these prices for the 40th anniversary, or would you recommend them to wait?
Here's the thing. The problem with this figure, and it's a great point talking about the upcoming 20th anniversary figures, I will never suggest that they will never reissue or come out with another Empire Strikes Back Darth Vader. But because this is the 40th anniversary packaging, they will never give you 40th anniversary Empire Strikes Back packaging with this Vader ever again. So you have to wonder, if you really want it in this packaging, this is the only way you're going to get it. So what I pointed out before this, Joao, it's a great question. I'd love to get your guys' opinions on it. There's definitely more of a bargain you could get with the Vader without the packaging. It's still going to cost you high, and it's still going up. But if you want it in this packaging, it's never going to come out again. Am I wrong on this, Fabio, or what do you think? I just don't see it coming out. But 40th, maybe 50th anniversary, but not 40th.
If you want to wait 10 years, right?
Yeah.
That you guys said exactly what I was going to say. So regarding Aries' answer, you're never going to get this packaging ever again. It's the 40th. When are you going to have another 40th? Number two, when it comes to time, what I've realized, over the 8, 9, 10 years of me collecting, you will never miss out on a figure. Period. You just won't. Hot Toys will always make so. And the reason I'm saying this is, for example, Darth Vader, and I'm talking about the actual character in the figure. I'm not talking about the packaging. So Darth Vader, how many Darth Vaders have they made so far till this day? Plenty. They're
Right.
never going to stop making Darth Vader. Darth Vader is only going to get better and better and better. They're going to keep modifying the bodies. They're going to be getting new materials for clothing. They're going to get, they're just going to keep getting better. Are they going to ever stop making them? Absolutely not, unless obviously they get rid of the license, which I don't see why they would get rid of something so valuable and so, and that makes them so much money. So that's the thing. Would I tell somebody to go pay this money for this figure? If they really want the figure, they really want the packaging, they really feel like it's going to make their collection, absolutely, go right ahead. If you have the money and it's your money and that's what you feel like doing, go ahead. Are you gonna miss out on Darth Vader and never gonna get him again? Absolutely not. So it's just up to the person. Are you willing to wait for the next one, or are you really desperate that you need it right now? That's all it comes down to, because you're never gonna miss out on any on any Darth Vader specifically. Obviously, there are going to be figures that Hot Toys will never make again, but for somebody like this, they'll never stop making Darth Vader.
100% agree. And Joao, I think that's I think that's the story with this. If you want this one of this packaging, this special release, they're not reissuing this again in this packaging.
They are not. This packaging, no. It would damage all the purpose of a 40th anniversary packaging. There's no because they will have many opportunities to do other Vaders, especially with the new obi-wan show, because we already know that some kind of Vader is coming from there. This one will be always the exclusive Vader for the 40th anniversary. If you really want, like Fabio said, if you really want the 40th anniversary one, you need to get this one.
Well, and let's go to Cody, because people always ask me, they ask me, how's Commander Cody doing? How is Ray and Dio doing? Both figures, they leveled out. They level out. They go through, they've raised up. They level out. They both will raise up again, without question. But I love pulling this stuff up. You could look at Cody here just from May 7th. 31 bids, $391, but that 35 in shipping is ridiculous. So it's really $401. Falcon Toys to 82%. So you always got to look at the shipping. Is where you think you're saving $10. I got it $9 under 400. Yeah, well, you're spending 35 in shipping. So holding steady at that $400 range. Pulling up another Cody here. Again, all my data shows about the same. You can see right here from yesterday, $400 with 12 bids. This one $21. And 60 cents in shipping. So again, right around the same thing, putting up Ray and Dio. You put something up like this, you talk about a shipping box brand, it has the shipping box, has everything in it. Just from yesterday, $367, not including the $20 in shipping. Comes up at a good price like that, has the shipper box, gone. And when you go to the market value chart, guys, we'll put in some of these figures. I'll go to the Star Wars market value chart. When you put in, let's put these in real quick, and we'll talk about them. Go to the search box. I'll put in Ray, and you put in Ray, you get all the Rays that'll come up. Ray and Dio, which over here MMS 559, you can see 370 and steady. Let's put in Cody. And let's see what we get on the market value chart at 6scalecantina.com. MMS 524, $402 in steady, right where it is. Let's put up Vader. We'll get that Vader 40th and see where the Vader's at. Here's the thing. Darth Vader Empire Strikes Back 40th packaging, $460 in rising. Darth Vader ESB, MMS 452, $361 in rising. Almost $100 difference in average right now. The definitely the one below it is going up without the packaging. Like I said, it's moving up. It'll go for 100, but it's definitely a spread, guys.
It's the same figure too. That's the crazy part.
Yeah.
And this is what I mean. The packaging is such a big deal, and this is why Hot Toys does it. If it didn't affect the figure, they wouldn't bother with it. And like I said, believe it or not, in my opinion, that new packaging, that 40th anniversary and that 20th anniversary, it's, again, my opinion, even though it looks cool, it's so much cheaper. It doesn't look as fancy. It doesn't look as classy. The only thing that it does for the figure, it actually makes it look like a toy with a big window, in my opinion. Besides that, that's it. I love getting, the regular packaging with the sleeve. You pull it out, you open the figure, you cut the tape off, you slide it. I love all that. With these figures, it's a little bit different. I like the way they look. I don't like the way they feel in hand.
You know what's
Which one?
interesting?
You meaning the Empire Strike Back one?
Just the 40th packaging in general.
Okay.
And listen, baby, we got 94 in here. Smash that like button. You are watching the Market Chart Show, live with Aries and Fabio. We had the Hot Toys Wizard pop in here, taking on the likeness of Joao from Big Preda in the house. Smash the like button, baby. Come on. Welcome in here. We're having some fun. We're talking about these Darth Vaders, and all related to all this stuff coming up with Attack of the Clones, the Bespin Luke. Still number one selling Star Wars hot toy, even number one hot toy when you put in Marvel. Right now, both versions, deluxe and non-deluxe. Joao, it's not like the one without the packaging isn't rising. I'm showing you on the screen. It is, and it's actually.
Exactly.
I think I'm going to be putting in data soon that has it go closer to 400. So the figure, because of the Bespin Luke, it's going up. How high can the packaging one go? If we're all agreeing here that they're not like in 3 years, put out 40th anniversary packaging, the anniversary's over. Maybe a 45th anniversary, maybe a 50th anniversary, maybe a 48th anniversary. How high can this one go?
The 40th anniversary will keep going up. I think at least until you reach the 50th anniversary if they do anything special on there. And it depends how much Hot Toys will keep feeding the Empire Strike Back line. We got Luke. We don't know what comes more. Imagine that in a sudden they announce Han Solo. This figure will rise up even more. The chances for rising in price are always there, and I believe it keep on rising because as soon as a sideshow now is a wait list open, right? As soon as it's sold out, it's gone forever and will not appear again.
I think that the fact that the Obi-Wan show's coming is what's going to make it stop going up, because if they announce any type of Vader, from that movie, from the show, that's going to stop at least for a little bit, completely dead stop, and then it's going to pick back up when people who, again, missed out on it will try to get it to, let's say, for example, the Obi-Wan Vader is their first Vader. Then maybe they'll want to go backwards and look for it. But I think once the Vader is announced, I think it's going to be a complete hold for everything else Vader related that's out.
But then, when Bespin Luke is released, the people that are going to get that Bespin Luke and say, "Oh, it's released. I need Vader," they need to go back to the ESP Vader.
Correct, and that's what I mean. If a Vader is announced from Obi-Wan, it's just going to make it stop for a little bit. But it doesn't mean it's going to stop forever, because there will be something, like you just said, there'll be something that'll trigger it to go back into circulation again.
And that's what's interesting about these Hot Toys is that
right.
they can be like Harry said, a slow burner. They can be like very stable, and then something happen and they rise.
Well, I mean, look at this, dudes. like I'm going to tie this in now to the other stuff we want to talk about. Like when you look at the secondary market for Star Wars Hot Toys here, you're seeing Han Solo: A New Hope. You're seeing, the Darth Vader. You're seeing Darth Maul. You're seeing Obi-Wan from the prequels. So you're seeing 2 OT figures, 2 prequels figures. You're seeing another original trilogy figure, Boba Fett. You're seeing Snowtrooper from the Battlefront, the 2-pack Snowtroopers, Snowtrooper ESB, forget about it. You're seeing Luke, Return of the Jedi. You're seeing Chewbacca, A New Hope. You're seeing Chewbacca from The Force Awakens. You're seeing another Attack of the Clones, Yoda. You're seeing Han and Chewbacca, just whatever they can get. You scroll down over here. I mean, you're even seeing the Jawa and the Gonk droid going up in price. And it makes you wonder, as I move up from this biggest mover section, and I was showing everybody and you guys what was going on, with this biggest mover section, where they are in the market value chart. Now, remember, for all your figures, you can just go to the market value charts here at 6scalecantina.com and look up every figure yourself, and you'll see if it's trending up, if it has an arrow down, if it's trending down, or if it's steady right now. Like I just showed you that Rey and Dio, steady right now at $370, and Commander Cody's steady right now at $402. But you look at all this, the biggest movers, it's all original stuff. And then when you're looking at this heat that they've just given us, it's all original stuff, guys. Is there a story here? I want to talk about this. Have they unveiled a pattern? Because we've been talking about, there's only so long that they're going to do this they're only so long they're going to let stuff in the secondary market. So if we go to Sideshow again and pull this up on the screen, you're seeing what's moving for them on some of these figures. They're certainly getting the reaction with the Bespin Luke, obviously with the R2, with the Clone Trooper, with all this. Are we seeing a pattern of maybe what the future is? Fabio, we opened up that we were going to talk about a little bit. I'm going to let you go first on if we're starting to see some insight here to the future for Hot Toys for Star Wars.
Well, what I think is, really, really interesting is they've never, at least as far as I remember, they've never opened up a line like this. You know what I mean? Like just gave you something and then boom, opened up an entire line of figures. I've never witnessed it. I've never seen it.
No, and even and stopping you there, I know people would say, well, wait a minute, last May 4th, they gave you Blurg with Quill, Blurg with OG Mando, and they gave you a Quill. They gave you. I was like, yeah, but they already were giving us Mando figures. We knew those figures were going to come, and you really can't count the Blurg. It's the same freaking figure 3 times.
That's what I mean. These are like R2 and C-3PO were the first figures from Attack of the Clones. They announced the celebration with those 2 figures. With that tease of those 2 figures. I've never seen that happen before. Super interesting because, again, Hot Toys has, besides last year, they've never given us that many figures back to back to back to back. Even last year, I don't think we got this many. So it's cool because, it's cool. It's cool in a good way and it's cool in a bad way. It's cool in a good way because that just means more. We're getting a lot more. It's cool in a bad way because we're getting a lot more. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people, this is expensive. This stuff is expensive. A lot of people struggle with having to choose because there's so much to like. There's so much to want. So it's cool to see how much they're able to give us. Like I say this all the time. For the longest time, we were getting a figure here, a figure there. It was never like this. It was never a constant flow of not only releases but announcements. We're getting way more announcements than we are releases. So, I've watched Hot Toys, evolve to this, over the years. Mm-hmm. That's why I find it very interesting because it was not like this at all. Not even a little bit. So opening up entire lines like this, it's cool because we can speculate about literally anything regarding this line now. When they give us a figure from a line without announcing the entire line, it doesn't really mean that anything from that line is game.
So let me ask you this. Have they been watching channels like mine? Have they been paying attention to feedback on different forums and whatnot? Have they finally caught on and been like, well, let's go ahead and give them a little bit what they want and let's actually see? Is there some of that going on? I don't think that's all of it, but is there some of that going on?
Definitely. Definitely, they are watching these shows. They are going to forums. They are going on Facebook. They need to, as a company, they need to pay attention what the customers are requesting. If they don't, I'm sure they do. And let's not forget that Howard Chen, the CEO of the Hot Toys CEO, he always said openly that he started Hot Toys because of Star Wars. He always opened up that he loves Star Wars and is a line that it's very important to him. And well, it was quite surprising these announcements last week, because they in a sudden they is a revival of the sequels for Hot Toys, the prequels, sorry, for Hot Toys.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. Yeah,
and it's amazing. I think it's really amazing.
90 in here. Smash the like button. You are watching the Market Show live here on a Monday night with Aries and Fabio. Special guest on in here, Joao. Big Bretta is in the Cantina. Look, I was kind of looking at a lot of data, which you guys know I do a lot within the secondary market. I also look at the primary market. I also look at Star Wars, because I didn't just start collecting Star Wars with Hot Toys. I've been collecting Star Wars for decades. I've been a collector for decades. And one of the interesting things, that I thought about this, I felt like as Hot Toys continued to progress in their, in their tenure as a business, that they would uncover that Star Wars is very unique, internationally, especially outside of where they are, to the fact that I really felt that it would be right now, the way the Mandalorian's going, which is what they were anticipating would happen when paying $4 billion for this, which was a steal back in 2012 from George Lucas just for the rights, that this would be their biggest moneymaker in the long run. And I think that that's what we're starting to see, is that they're starting to say, wow, what do we got over here? I mean, there's so much demand. There's so much pull. I was kind of calling Fabio that they would be coming out with a bombardment of announcements. I could pull back 6scalecantina.com back up and show everybody that now there's 10 pre-orders for 2023 versus 33 for Marvel in 2023. All of a sudden, we got 5 in one night. It goes to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think we're starting to see something here. And then immediately the next night, they put out a thing. Hey, there's another wave of thrills for Attack of the Clones. Don't combine everything in. I think it's a little bit telling of the road they're going to go on to try and fill up pre-order wise.
Well, I think that if Hot Toys really wanted to, get even with Marvel, they have plenty of material to go with. They have plenty of characters to make. And that's what I mean. With Star Wars being such a big thing, you know what I mean? It's you can literally pick any character from any Star Wars movie, and people, I would assume that people would be satisfied with it. You can't say that about Marvel. You know what I mean? You can't say that any character Marvel, gives us is a complete hit. We know it's not true. But with Star Wars, I feel like that's a little bit more truthful because of the impact that the franchise has had, since it started. So that's why I feel like Hot Toys has plenty of material. They gave us 5 in one night. Hopefully there's another 5 at least coming for the second one. How many characters can we still get from all the 6 movies? Plenty. Now we got the shows. We got Mando. We got Obi. We got Clone Wars. There are tons of characters that we could get from Star Wars. So I feel like this is just the beginning.
And it's really built. And we'll talk. I'm just gonna answer that. This is a very interesting comment. But Star Wars, and we were talking about this, Fabio. I addressed it on Saturday and got a lot of comments and private messages saying, "Hey, thank you for breaking down some of the intricacies that make Star Wars different than some other IPs." And you got a lot of collectors that come into Star Wars that were built. Remember, Star Wars didn't exist before 1977 to the public. It came on the scene. It's 6 hours of footage from 1977 to 1983. Give you a perspective on that. The Obi-Wan series coming up here that's going to start at the end of the month during the celebration time. That whole series is going to be a whole 6 hours. Star Wars, the original trilogy, is only 6 hours. And they put out, to your point, Fabio, characters from Greedo to Yakface to Snaggletooth, any darn thing that they could come up with. And people want those figures.
Absolutely.
And people will pay. It'll never be passe. You could put out a New Hope figures forever, and we're starting to see that right now. And due to the Mandalorian turning Star Wars around, I think there was some question of, people really aren't into who's going to buy an original trilogy figure. Well, it kind of looked that way, Joao, during the sequels. And then it kind of, because of that controversy, and then with COVID, and then we're starting to see, not when it starts getting fixed. It's actually the other way around. Let's hold that. I want to get your thoughts on that, Joao. But what about this question from Nerdified? What do you guys think about signatures? I will tell you, in my view, a lot of times they affect the value of the figures and make them worse. Like, I've had people when I was collecting vintage saying, "Hey, I got this 12 back. It's signed by Mark Hamill." And I hate to tell them that it's not worth as much with the signature. On some of those things, it's like, it's worth a lot to me and to you, but that's a whole other ball game. You bring that into it's hard. It depends. What do you guys think on that? Go ahead, Joao.
About the signatures. I think it has more value. For example, I know John, the everyday collector from Collecting Weekly. He has his DeLorean, the DeLorean, signed by, I think it's by Michael J. Fox. It was signed in the trunk. You got the trunk signed, and actually, it is valuable for him. But if you want to sell it, it's difficult to sell it at a very high price, because not everyone wants a signature on the trunk of a DeLorean, and this is for every collectible. Some people that are very much into signatures, that they want. If you have something with a signature, the value increases a lot. But that gathers to a very special kind of collector that normally they will search exactly for collectibles with signatures. And then you have the signature. The signature normally need to be certified. You need to have the signature certified that is a legit signature and is not just yourself that did it with a marker. Normally they do this with CGC and with some certifications that you can have to assure that that signature is original. So there's a lot that comes into this. But if I had the chance, of course, I would like to have a collectible myself with a signature on it. For me, it would always be a valuable item for me to have, and I would never consider or think about reselling it. It would be always for my own collection.
I think if you could get it verified, I think you're 100% on. And for me, a lot of times with a lot of that old stuff, you would buy one, you'd buy two, Fabio. You get one signed and keep one not signed. And I think it's sometimes they go for more, sometimes they don't. What is your take?
Well, no, I would like to believe that anything signed by the actor of, whatever movie it is that the item is from would absolutely increase the value, in general. Just in general. Doesn't mean that, you may not be able to sell it for expensive, because it may be something that, another fan may not want. You know what I mean? So, for example, let's talk about the DeLorean specifically. The DeLorean alone is going to be what? Let's just say $1,500, $1,200. You add a signature to that, it's going to make it how much? $3,000, $2,000. You know what I mean? Like that's just a price that you're going to hope to get out of the item, which is not going to be worth to somebody else. You know what I mean? So that's where it gets tricky. To me, a signature would be for me to keep, a personal thing for me. Usually when they sign something, it's to the person's name and blah, blah, blah. You know, so if I get a signature of something, it would be for me to keep forever because the thing was signed to me or for me. If it's just the person's name, then, you know, what is the value of that? That just, you know, that I feel like that would be an easier sell because it's just the signature. But again, it depends on what the item is and if it's, you know, going to be too overpriced or easily purchased because it's not going to be super expensive. So that's where it gets tricky with signatures. But a car that expensive to get signed, that's personal forever.
Yeah, no, I agree. If you could get something signed by Tamora Morrison, baby, you need to do it. It gets tricky. It depends on the item. If it's going to double in value, triple in value. Like I said, sometimes I've seen it decrease in value, but you know, you get two of them if you want. But really, if I get something signed by Tamora Morrison, something signed by Harrison Ford, it's near and dear. I ain't selling that sucker.
And don't
For
forget,
example, imagine if you have a Django Fett from Hot Toys and you get it signed by Tamora Morrison.
Jeez, baby, come on.
You will hold that forever.
yeah, no, and what about, you know, God forbid the actor dies?
Forget it.
Forget it. You know, so
Forget it.
that's why those things are, you know, specifically signatures and stuff like that are good to keep for yourself just because they should be more meaningful. Like, I'm not going to stand in line to go meet an actor to get anything signed to go sell it. I would never. You know what I mean? What's the point? So that's why I don't really get into stuff like that.
Beskar Kidman said, 1/6 a man, I'd buy it. That's expensive. A vintage carded figure in regular 3 3/4 scale. No, you know, we're talking about this. I think it goes to show, you know, I think we're going to get, gentlemen, make no mistake about it. I firmly believe, and I've already heard from the Hot Toys Wizard, we're going to get Cad Bane. We're going to get figures for the Book of Boba Fett. We're not done with the Mandalorian. We don't have to wait till season 3. That's going to come. I think they were very strategic in showing us their commitment to the Attack of the Clones. And I think that they were very, very smart in making sure. I was wondering, why the hell would you put out Bespin Luke, this figure we've shown on the screen, which is still tracking number 1, April 13th. Why not put it out May 4th? It makes absolutely no sense. Now, it makes perfect sense. And the figure to put out because they're like, don't start the conversation that we're not going to focus on. I mean, start the conversation, but don't lose hope that we're not going to get the OT because we just gave you the OT, the one you would really been wanting. And now we're going to give you prequels. And now we're putting out this thing, Attack of the Clones. I think we're going to get hit at Celebration with a lot of wow. With some Mandalorian stuff, Book of Boba Fett. And what is your prediction on original trilogy? What's your prediction on anything from there at Celebration this month at all before they close it out?
I would think Bespin Han it's a figure that is been long requested by collectors.
Is Fabio right? If they came out with that, does that dethrone Luke within a day or two?
I don't. Probably. It's quite possible. But
I think because it's been up here for 4 weeks already. It does. I mean, I think it just.
Yeah.
I think it kills everything. I think immediately.
But just shows how strong the original trilogy still is on Hot Toys market, and Hot Toys is paying attention to that. So I would say a Bespin Han. I wouldn't disregard they do a new Chewbacca. It's possible too.
No, we were talking about that before you came on. You know, we were showing the Hotted Chewbacca. I put that up over there, just sold for $1,000 earlier today. on a U.S. auction. And it was somebody with not even, I mean, they had good feedback, but it was just 30. Could they come out with a 2-pack again and label, with Chewbacca? I mean, we're talking about Han for Empire Strikes Back. Why not come out with Chewbacca at the same time? Why not come out with the 2-pack and then give you single or both single like they did before?
Quite possible, and marketing wise would do amazing for Hot Toys. But yeah, I'm seeing original trilogy. I doubt we will see anything Mandalorian in this celebration. I'm not sure they will go into that. They will touch Boba Fett. I don't know what. Cad Bane, Boba, Cobb Vanth. I don't know, because there are so much they can go into, and I think in the celebration time is not Sideshow that they have some special event that they show some figures over there. Is Sideshow, right? Last year was a Sideshow event that they show. It's not during celebration that Sideshow will have like a stage with a lot of figures coming up. Last year they did that with the Blurg and Quill and so on.
Yeah, I mean, this year there's less COVID restrictions, right? I mean, this year's.
Yeah, I think that's what it was too. I think it was because it was COVID. I think.
Yeah.
They did like an in-house like Comic-Con or something.
Mm-hmm. Well, and here's the interesting thing. They came out with 2 things. Get ready for our next wave of thrills, which I put up at 6scalecantina.com in the latest news section. From Attack of the Clones. You got Attack of the Clones anniversary on the 16th. You can't be doing all this stuff and then dog the 16th, the actual anniversary, and do nothing. And then they already said it's celebration. They're going to show us never before seen Star Wars reveals, announcements. What could it be? And, when you start looking about the original trilogy, what we don't have yet, what we're missing, what's going up in the secondary market. We talked about Darth Vader. We don't have a Darth Vader Return of the Jedi. Is there a better? And I know that one of the arguments is, well, they're going to wait for the anniversary. Personally, I think they're going to put that out and then say, let's make more money because then we can repackage it in the 40th anniversary for Return of the Jedi, because that worked out real good for us for Vader in the Empire Strikes Back. Han is high.
And Boba.
Leia's high. Yeah.
Or they can go other way and start to give you characters that you never seen before from Hot Toys. They can start to give you Bosk, bounty hunters. They can offer you a Jabba. Who knows if Hot Toys even intends to do a Jabba.
You think they'd ever do a Jabba because you could get that Jabba from Sideshow, which looks pretty nice?
No, I don't think so, because Sideshow, as it's still on stock, it's selling well, is an amazing piece, didn't have any problem, everyone loves it.
I mean, I don't know if you could do real better than that. I mean, that was really nice. That was nice.
That is an amazing piece.
Could do a billion times better. They're just,
they have the slime
they're just not bothering, because exactly what he said. They got the product out that's still selling. Apparently from what everybody says, it's if Hot Toys has the license through Sideshow, I don't think they're gonna hurt them and go make their own figure and kill theirs. So I don't think so.
Why you never got that Jabba, Fabio?
Too big, way too big. And where am I going to put it? That's the thing.
In the table behind you?
If I had room, I would have been in the case. But it's going to take up half the case, and then I got to put all the figures other places. So I didn't even bother. I was like, no way, it's too big. But yeah. So can they do it better? Absolutely. There's no doubt about that.
What's interesting here, and I just some of the this is a real interesting parallel. You're seeing all this heat from Clone Wars, prequels, original trilogy. You're seeing all that same heat within the secondary market for Star Wars. Obviously, when you scroll down, I mean, the Mandalorian's always going to be hot, whether it's the Mandalorian himself, the Luke there. The other Luke high, it's Luke Mando. Obviously, you got all these other releases. They're going to be high. Wow. I mean, fantastic. And even with all of this, gentlemen, even with all of this, when you go to sixscalecantina.com and you scroll to the bottom section, which is the Marvel versus Star Wars comparison, which I think is very, very telling. And now we're seeing how hot and how big Star Wars is in the world and how equal it is to it and how much money it's bringing in. Howard, which Joao, you talked about that. So it's not 32, it's 33. Look at the first column here. Star Wars 1/6/2023 pre-orders. This doesn't include 1/4, just 1/6. And it doesn't include, deluxe, not deluxe. It's just the separate figure. 10 for Star Wars, 32 for Marvel. And I was telling people for a while, brace yourself, because there's no way they're going to be going into 2023 with not filling these up. We got a lot of big ones. We could come out of this month. We can get another 5 on the 16th, if that's the wave, if they go that way, which we don't know. But I'm thinking that they're making you think that they will. And then if they just show reveals or if they give you a couple, we could come out of here at the end of the month with this having 15, even 20 already.
Quite possible. Quite possible.
Well,
Quite
definitely
possible.
15. Definitely 15 by the end of the month. And then
You think so? You think 15 by the end of the month?
I think we're definitely getting another 5. And then obviously, because remember, that's hopefully the one day that we're getting 5. And then obviously, after that, we still got another 3 weeks till the end of the month. So absolutely, we're getting more. So maybe I'm going to say between 15 and like 17.
How many of those, if you say 15 to 17, Fabio, how many are Book of Boba Mando by the end of the month?
1 or 2.
You think 1 or 2? Joao, you say none?
Because I feel like the 5
No,
are going to be. Go ahead.
I would say I don't believe much in Mandalorian figures at this moment. I would want, but I would say maybe 2 from Boba Fett, from the Boba Fett show.
Which 2?
I would say Cat Bane and Cobb Vanth. I would bet on those 2.
Yeah,
I would,
too, because I feel like we forgot a little bit about Cobb Vanth.
yeah, I bet they put him in the after credit scene. So which Cobb Vanth are we going to get? The one that they've teased that's from Mando, or the one from the show?
That's right.
Or are they going to make it where you could do it both? Because remember, when we were talking about these figures, these ones that just came out, let's go back to it. They're putting in this packaging. Hey, this is Attack of the Clones line, but with this clone trooper pilot, we're using the helmet from the Attack of the Clones, from the Clone Wars animated series. The same thing with the other clone, the other figure with the Revenge of the Sith. So could they do that? Could they say Cobb Vanth from the Book of Boba Fett, but with the armor from the Mandalorian featuring that? Could they do something like that? Because they just did.
Interesting question.
I think
that's an interesting question.
I think if we get him, I think it'll be from the Mandalorian because of the fact of the head sculpt. I feel like he needs to get the head sculpt. On that show, remember, you got him with the armor and without the helmet on. So every other figure also, if you pay attention, what did we really get labeled Book of Boba? Everything we've gotten, even Boba Fett, has been the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
So they could either say, you know what, let Cobb Vanth be the first Book of Boba figure, which I wouldn't mind, because think about it, he's got
Fennec is not Book of Boba.
The Mandalorian, I think.
Fennec.
No, Fennec is Book of Boba. Fennec is Book of
That's
Boba.
what I thought. Yeah, Book of Boba. So then not the first one. So then what? The second one. So I think that Cobb Vanth is coming. I think that it'll be the Mandalorian, because that's where he appeared first, and we're getting head sculpt and the armor from the was teased in the prototype.
So if you could choose, you would want the Cobb Vanth with the armor or without the armor?
Has to have the armor, because without the armor, what's the point? It's just a regular guy.
So look at this on the screen. And before we do, listen, hit the like button, baby. I'm going to ask you all in there. Are we at 100 likes yet in this show that's hit the 2 hour and 10-minute mark? And I say, if we're not, all of you go yes. And let's start the march right now. Let's get it to the 100 likes if it's not already. And let's actually get it beyond. Let's get it to 110 likes, 120 likes, 130 likes, 140 likes. Don't let me get TK FOMO out of here to school you all. Let's go, baby. Come on. Get it to 100 likes. Let's go. Look at this right here. Bonus interchangeable helmet from Star Wars: The Clone Wars animated series. This is what I'm talking about. Are they going to do this? Fabio, like to say, could they do that and just throw in the armor with this?
Well, number one, I feel like the fact that they went this route, there was no need for them to give us this head sculpt specifically.
No.
At all. There was no need. They didn't have to do this. There was, we didn't ask for this. But I'm glad they did. They just created, like I've said before, 2 figures out of 1, which is awesome. This is out of the 2, I like this helmet better, which is why I'm glad they gave it to us. But no, these figures are amazing. Really, really good figures. Really, really basic figures as well. But great.
Yeah. And what was the other figure that was from Revenge of the Sith? Like, I pulled this one up, dude. And was it the freaking clone trooper? I think it is actually. It's the one because it comes with the freaking the other phase helmet. Let me pull it up onto the screen. Yeah, I remember I was talking about this on Dante's show. Another call out to Dante on his Great Friday show that he has, the man of hot collectibles. And I think it was. I'm trying to get to the picture here. Yeah, right here. Pull this one up a little higher.
Yeah.
Bonus interchangeable Phase 2 helmet as seen in Revenge of the Sith. Dude, I'm thinking that they're going to... Why not do this with Cobb Vanth? So you could actually say, okay, you got a Book of Boba Fett, let's call it Cobb Vanth, and say bonus interchangeable Boba Fett armor as seen in The Mandalorian. I mean, I actually think they're going to do this.
No, they could, absolutely. And it's, it's... like I said, 2 figures in 1. So you could display the same figure one way or another, which is, I would think that their goal by doing that is forcing people to buy 2 of them because you're going to get 2 completely different figures out of, getting 2 separate, obviously. If you just get 1, yeah, you're going to have to choose which look do you like better. So what are you going to do? Oh my God, I really like both. Let me get a second one. Boom, there you go. What did they just do? They made double the money.
And with 85 in here, smash the like button. Single songwriter goes, click the like button, hashtag reach 100. And have you done it yet? And I say, yes. Come on, let's do it. Get me the chat in there. Let me know if we've hit the 100 mark at Double X Magical. Beskar Kid puts up in here, agreed, Aries. It's a no-brainer. No, I totally think so as well. And Double X Magical with the super chat. Thank you so much for putting this up here, girl. Much appreciate the support with the $5 bomb. I want a black and gray Wookiee. I forgot his name, and I say Chrysanthemum. I agree with you, Joao. I think it's going to be Cad Bane and Cobb Vanth, but I do think we're getting Chrysanthemum too. And honestly, the reason I think we're getting Chrysanthemum, I have a sneaking suspicion we may see Chewbacca this month and Han. I really, really do. And for those that lose hope, look, I get some in the chat. Hey, I don't think we're ever going to get. I'm telling you, we're not going to get a Han. We're not going to get a Luke. Look, what have I been telling you with all those comments? You're never going to get a Luke. You just did. What was I telling you? You're never going to get a C-3PO. You just did. Now you're telling me you're never going to get a Han. Keep hope, baby. The Hot Toys Wizard is here to tell you you will 100% get a Han Solo. Not even, no doubt in my mind. But what do you guys think about Chrysanthemum with the $5 drop? Let's go to you, Joao. I think that's the third one that we would get. I think he was good in the series.
Quite possible, but we have been talking this for some time, and I think they couldn't reuse the Chewbacca body, right? Because he's a bit more muscular, is stronger. They would need to do a new body for that. It's not that they don't know how to do these figures, because it's basically the same as Chewbacca, right? I think it would sell a lot because so many people are asking for him. So many people are asking for it. It's quite possible. It would be quite surprising if they announce it this month. I would say it's
I would think a
possible.
celebration fig. I could see them actually just showing it on a stand, saying we're going to do this. I mean that's
Ooh,
where I could see it.
that with a Han Solo release would break the internet. I can tell you.
'Cause
That
if you think about it, if you're going to go to celebration and you're going to show off figures at a stand, what do you think people would do if they saw Joel, Han, and Chewie in a display? I think we'd lose our stuff, dude.
everyone will lose the mind completely. It's true, but I believe they can do that. But again, if they show you these figures like as prototypes, like they did last year, they better announce them and put them on pre-order fast, and don't let us here keep waiting and waiting and waiting as like they did with Cobvent. Cobvent, it was shown what? Well, last year. It's been 1 year now, right?
Yeah, it's been 1 year.
1 year.
I think this is the time.
And
I think,
let's
especially
not
with the Book of Boba Fett just ending, Joel, and he was a
exactly.
big part of the ending and a big part of the after credits. So now's the time.
And there was no confirmation of a season 2, right? There's no any there will not be a season 2 for Boba Fett.
No, I'm pretty sure they're going to have a season 2, but
They haven't announced anything yet. But
they haven't announced it yet. But you're going to hear the announcement at Celebration.
And Ahsoka starts production today.
Yes,
Disney shared the photos, so it's other big one coming. So with so many shows coming, Obi-Wan coming in just 2 weeks, Hot Toys need to think. Okay, let's put Book of Boba figures now. Let's put them on pre-order. What do we have? We have still from Mandalorian season 2, because season 3 is coming in the end of the year. There is so many figures from Star Wars in the years to come that it hurts to think our wallets will go dry.
well, listen, if Han and Chewie are on display, or if we get a chrysanthemum, this is what's going to happen. And this is going to be the last call because we're going to be wrapping up here in a little bit. So if you're at table 5, here you go. And how about table 66?
oh man,
Table 44 is a cold table. And I just love to see this at Celebration. I'd love to see this tonight, actually.
Right, I'll see you shortly. There's a meteorite that hit the ground near here. I want to check it out. It won't take long.
And you have to wonder, has the Dark Jedi been telling you for months upon months upon months that I have information from the Hot Toys Wizard that Hoth Luke is 100% in the works and imminent? And
That would
again,
be amazing.
I say yes and amazing with Joao. Oh, it's coming. That would be the best way to end the month. Freaking that. Oh my God.
and that's one figure that Hot Toys never made. So they, it'll be the first time. And
Dude,
if they're making 3PO, there's a huge chance that that's 100% coming as well.
dude, if they're Fabio, if they're look at how many weeks Bespin Luke from 1980. They have 2 head sculpts. So let me play this again.
Right, I'll see you shortly. There's a meteorite that hit the ground near here. I want to check it out. It won't take long.
Are they really not going to put this out so they can not have it up there for? They already know it'll freaking sell.
Absolutely.
And is a figure that it's easier for them to make, and they know it's easy money for them.
If Sideshow made it and they gave us, the regular face and then the battle damage face with the scar, Hot Toys could do it 10 times better, and they're gonna do it.
Double X Magical, thank you for the $5 drop. 808 Michigan Jedi needs a last drink at the freaking table. Let's not forget. Let's play this one of Grogu at table 88. The Mandalorian and Grogu have completely changed Star Wars. You talk about them being on the map. There you go there, 808 Michigan Jedi. And OG fan, listen, everybody in the chat, Have we hit 100 likes? Where are we with likes? Let's go on a mission with TK Fobo and CT Suckett. And let's get to 100 likes here. Let's go, baby. Come on. Where are we at? Where are we at? Cantina, Aries, Wonder, Possible Wizard. Yes, coffee too. Listen, Joao, freaking Fabio. A lot of market stuff. I could go on and on and on. I think we're out of time here. We're getting 90 in here, but we all got to work tomorrow, dudes. This is going to be an exciting month. I want to say this, and we'll close out with this for final thoughts. I wouldn't rule out an announcement this week. I'm just going to say that for Star Wars. I have no doubt in my mind, anyway, we're going to get a blast of announcements on Sunday night this week, Monday morning for Attack of the Clones. I've never been more excited as a fan for Star Wars, what's coming, a celebration from Disney, from Hot Toys, what's going to be coming. But I think we may get an announcement this week, and I'm telling you, Django, this week. Go, Joao. Tell me what your final thoughts are.
I think it's imminent. At any day this week that Django will pop up in Hot Toys on Facebook. The blogger photos will be coming in, and who knows if in that blogger photos you will not see Mace Windu again there, and they will just teasing you, telling you next week you will have Mace Windu up for pre-order. I think it's quite possible, quite possible.
Fabio, has he hit the nail on the head? I think he might be right. Single Songwriter says 85 likes to climbing. Listen, baby, 15 away. And Elfido says 100 likes equals 5 Attack of the Clones announcements. 100 likes may be a call from the Hot Toys wizard. Anyway, go, Fabio. What do you think about what he said there? I like that, personally.
Well, I don't really trust Julio, so I'm going to disagree. No, it's true. I mean,
it's true. You don't believe in me, or what's true?
Well, no, I believe in truth. I don't believe you. So yeah, no, he's right. But the thing is with me, and all these announcements and all these figures coming out is, what is Hot Toys doing now that they weren't doing 2 years ago? That's what I think about. You know what I mean? What did they do? Go ahead.
No. I think you bring up a great point as we're closing it up over here. A single Songwriter says 100 likes, and Hot Toys makes announcements between 1:38 a.m. and 2:38 a.m. East Coast USA time. They may make an announcement tonight here, Songwriter. Let's get it going.
I think something's coming this week 100%. That's my answer.
Are we getting Django? I think
we have to.
Are we getting 100%. Django tonight?
Tonight?
Or tomorrow? I mean tomorrow with the freaking sideshow thing.
It's today. Today's Tuesday. Is the day that normally they release figures.
So if you were to release something, it should be in like the next couple hours, right?
Around in 2 hours around.
Yeah. So Django's coming 100%. I say Django.
Darth Chopper says Dark Jedi Aries Tarrington just landed in Baltimore, a week in NOLA. Need a hair of the dog. Need a table 77. Listen, baby, come on. You're at table 77, so I got to play this.
This is where the fun begins.
But I'm also going to play this because they're also at table 77.
My powers have doubled since the last time we met, Count.
Good. Twice the pride, double the fall.
And you have to wonder, while we're not talking about Dark Side Anakin, and we're not talking about Count Dooku, I still think it's possible you can get your Dark Side Anakin type of 2.0. And you could get your Count Dooku in 20th anniversary packaging. Here's the thing we haven't discussed, guys, as we close out this last thing. Are we going to get figures, a figure or two figures, that are a Celebration exclusive? Because we haven't talked about the Clone Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi, which I'm really anticipating. And we haven't talked about that possibility. Could we be getting something like that? with this celebration. Does celebration warrant a celebration exclusive from Hot Toys? What does Joao say?
A celebration exclusive is quite possible to have a figure that would do that, and I would say they would go maybe with Anakin, or I would say Anakin probably. It's quite possible.
I know we're gonna Fabio. I know
Because-
Fabio's been he's
and I
been
tell you
calling
why.
me Anakin.
Because
Go ahead, go.
I don't want them to do a Count Dooku.
I think they're going to do it though, dude. I don't know about
I
this
don't want
one,
them to do.
but before they stop making this packaging, I guarantee you can Count Dooku in this packaging. I don't know when. He's too high. And how high is he going to go, Joel, before with all these Attack of the Clones announcements? People are going to want him more and more.
Exactly. That's
And the
why
Yoda. I think you're going to get the Yoda too. Maybe not this month, but before the end
maybe
of the
a
year.
two-pack. Maybe a
Maybe a
two-pack.
two-pack.
Yoda, Dooku, and Yoda.
Boy, that would
That's
be
possible.
freaking. That's the whole highlight of the movie at the end. Fabio, Dark Side Anakin. I know you're calling the Anakin from Attack of the Clones. I'm calling that too, but I don't know, man. Dark Side Anakin relevancy to the series.
Well, that's a good call because of what it's going for. They know that it's, people want it very badly at this point. It doesn't necessarily belong with what's coming out, but it would match with the Obi show, which would be great. So there's a chance for that. If they really want to kill eBay right now, people would jump at a Dark Anakin immediately because of that, because it's so high up on eBay. So that's a possibility, 100%.
85 in here. Hit the like button. It's the Dark Jedi. It's Fabio. It's the Market Show Live. Big Bretta crashed the party, or as Fabio calls him, Julio Iglesias, is in here.
Julio Iglesias.
Guys, this has been a lot of fun. We're going to have a fun month. I'm kind of burnt out from tonight. So, and listen, I want to go ahead and close with this. We're going to have a big celebration at the end of the month to talk about what's going to happen this week, to talk about what happened last week, to talk about what's going to happen May 16th, next Monday, to talk about what's going to happen at Celebration. To Fabio's point, I think we're at least going to get 7 more figures on pre-order before the end of the month, possibly even more than that. But we're going to be giving away a free Hot Toy sponsored by Hawk Wars Toys at the end of the month on my Saturday show, Live and Raw. It'll be a special Live and Raw because I'll have both of these guys in here, including Dante from the Man of Hot Collectibles. And I'll be giving away a free Star Wars Hot Toy. If you're not subscribed to the channel, you can't be eligible to win. More information on how to enter it as we go on. Fabio's going to be giving away a figure. We were talking about that last week. And we're going to be giving you more information on that, right, Fabio, as we go. But you're going to have to be subscribed to Fabio. We're going to do that during that show, baby.
Yeah, so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be making another collection tour video, which is the video that I'm going to use for you guys to, like and comment on for the giveaway. I don't know what the giveaway is going to be yet. I'm trying to figure that out. But yeah, once I figure that out, I'll let you guys know, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. If you liked everything that you guys watched here today, going back to 6scalecantina.com real quick and just putting it on the screen, you may want to consider becoming a Cantina Insider. You get a lot of information from me, expanded thoughts, heightened analysis. You get live shows, impromptu live shows most every Sunday, unless it's a holiday. You can see right here the topic that Fabio and I were talking about in this video, the pleather cracking and collecting climate tips that we talked about at the beginning. I have an exclusive video where I talk about the climate that I use for my collection, and I actually do a couple of figures and do the pleather treatment right on there and show you what I use. You see the Sunday Live Coffee. All you got to do is go on here, 6 Scale Cantina. Of course, you could look at the Grogu unboxing which I showed you my split screen and how I did that. Everybody could see that. And then if you like that, you may want to see my other unboxings. Just click that little join button. It sees everything that it comes with. If you think it could benefit from you, you may want to consider joining the channel here. Certainly bookmark 6scalecantina.com. Subscribe to my friends here. Fabio from FabsFigures. Link in the video description below. Make sure you subscribe to Big Bretta. You're going live tomorrow night, right? Right, Big Bretta. Are you live tomorrow night or this week?
I think should be tomorrow night. I think so. I need to check my schedule, but I think it's still be on for tomorrow night.
Putting this up over here. So make sure you subscribe to Big Bretta. Look out for his show tomorrow night. Look out for my show on Wednesday. We'll be going live again on Wednesday. So watch out for Wednesday evening. Of course, you got Dante's show. Man of Hot Collectibles coming up on Friday at 8:30 p.m. We're going to ride like a bantha right into Dante's show. And, of course, me live and raw on Saturday. We're going to ride like a bantha right into Dante, the Man of Hot. Come on, baby. Come on. Primox says, lots of love to Aries and the crew. Bugman putting in here, great show, love you all. 808 Michigan Jedi, love it to even. Make sure you hit the like button on the way out. We do appreciate that. Single Songwriters has subscribed to all these great collectors and content creators. Thank you also as well, Valiant Archer. I have to play this once, Fabio, because I didn't play this tonight. I just want to. Here we go. I'm going to play this.
You could have played it when Julio came in.
Hey Fabio, did you see TK Fomo's interruption with Captain Rex? Did you guys see that?
Absolutely, I did.
Okay. Yes. I mean, that is absolutely. I think they may have another one because it's a long month. We'll have to keep an eye on it. Listen, baby. Pulling this up on the screen. I don't always buy coffee out, and I don't always buy spotchka out. But when I do, I buy it from 6 Scale Cantina. Stay thirsty, my friends.
See you guys.
Thank you.